Can we have it? Oh,
Welcome to CampusNation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation, our sister radio station in Jeffersonville, 106.9 WZAA. Welcome to week 10 of Ohio High School football. It's the last regular season weekend of the year for teams that are either out of the playoffs or did not opt to be in. We're here at Alumni Field on the campus of Wilmington High School, where the Wilmington Hurricane are hosting the Little Miami Panthers on a beautiful, chilly night here in Wilmington, Ohio. Temperature in the high 40s. It's probably going to get colder. I am Tony Mancuso, your play-by-play guy, and as always, to my left, the expert analyst calls the plays even before he sees them, and after he sees them, he tells you what he saw. The state high school champion quarterback back in the 70s, which, yes, was in this lifetime. First of all, the National Anthem, and then we'll introduce our partner. That was our national anthem by the Wilmington Hurricane Band. And as we were getting ready to say, the partner, not in crime, but the partner in good, is Jeff Merklin, color analyst. Welcome to Alumni Field, Jeff. What do we got tonight? Wilmington and Little Miami.
well, thanks, Tony. The first thing we have is an important game. There's no unimportant game in high school whether the kids are in the playoffs or not. I'm really glad to be here to do this game. Wilmington and Little Miami had to get together and create this game with the new scheduling this year, and they're both happy to be here, I'm sure, and we're ready to roll.
Well, tell us a little bit about the visitor tonight, Jeff. Little Miami Panthers come in at 2-7. Give us a rundown of them.
You're right, Tony. They come in at 2-7 in their league, which is the very tough Eastern Cincinnati Conference. They finished 1-4. It's their first year in that conference. They were formerly in the Southwest Ohio Conference. The best teams, just so fans kind of can relate to that league, are Winton Woods and Kings Mill Kings. Both of those teams, by the way, are undefeated, and they play tonight in the Division II Regional 8 semifinals. That'll be a good game. Little Miami is in the same region. In their playoffs this year, they beat Loveland 48-40 in round one, and then lost to Cincinnati LaSalle 42-14 in round two. This was the third straight year in the playoffs for Little Miami, so they've had a pretty good run lately before this season. Their coach is Caleb Jones. He's in his second year. As of tonight, he's got a 10-10 record. It was in the playoffs last year. Their offense is the spread. They'll be led by number 16 junior quarterback Aiden Jones. For the year, he's 92 for 178, 1,425 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. And Aiden is also second on the team in running with 72 carries, 226 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The leading rusher for the Panthers is number 1, senior running back Riley Pringle, 91 carries, 406 yards, 4.5 a pop, and 5 touchdowns. The leading receiver is a great athlete. I think you're going to like him tonight, Tony. Number 7, senior wide receiver Reese Stocksdale. He's a 4-year starter for Little Miami, and his numbers on the year out at receiver are 33 catches, 539 yards, 16.3 per catch, 7 touchdowns. And the one prediction I'm going to make tonight is don't be surprised to see Stocksdale throw a pass off an end around. So keep that in the back of your mind.
All right, we'll watch for it.
And defense, they go with a 4-man front. Senior number 6, Sean Busher, is a 4-year starter at linebacker. Senior number 75, Nathan Gordon, has 3 sacks and 2 recovered fumbles. And junior defensive back number 4, Nick Greenwell, has 2 interceptions.
CampusNation.com is the place to be for tonight's high school football game. Sponsors, many of them, great people, great businesses. Sam's Meats, Colette Farms, John Roberts Excavating, which will lead us to a 1998 trivia question at some point tonight, our tradition. Shelley McCune Realtors, Caldwell Banker, 114 years in business. McCune Painting and Renovation LLC, Ettinger Farms, Brown Funeral Home, and Kingdom Exteriors. Jeff, tell us about Sam's Meats.
Football fans, stop by Sam's Meats. It's located right here in Wilmington at 1209 West Locust Street and support a locally owned and operated business. Sam's Meats is fresh chicken, pork, and beef, along with deli cheese and lunch meats. Their meat deals are a great way to buy meat in bulk, helping to save you both time and money. The dining room is open for you to enjoy homemade hot bar meals and their made-to-order grill menu. Sam's Meats also offers catering, party trays, and a variety of homemade desserts. Sam's is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., and Saturday, 8 to 6. Check out Sam's Meats.
They're announcing, it looks like, the seniors for Wilmington that are running out individually. But tell us about the Wilmington Hurricane, the 2020 version, Jeff.
Well, we've had them for a few games this year, and one of the things I'll say is been impressed by how they've improved through the year. They've missed a couple games because of the COVID, and I think that's kind of stunted their growth a little bit, if you will, because they're young. As we've called numerous times, the sophomore class just looks absolutely tremendous. So, but towards the end of the year, I think they kind of got it back, and they've been playing really good football. Right now, they're 4-3 on the season with 1 no contest. That was the playoff game at DeSales. They were 2-3 in this Southern Buckeye Athletic Academic Conference, the American Division. They won their first-round playoff game against Marietta, and then, as I said, they had a no contest against DeSales in round 2 because of COVID.
Meaning they didn't get to play that game.
Didn't get to play, which was a shame after they had played so well against Marietta. They're coached by Scott Killen, and their offense is a spread, and also the quarterback will come under center and do the I. Not sure who will quarterback tonight. Peyton Hibbert has been in there most of the year. Peyton's 33 for 64, 51.6%. 453 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. But Cameron McAvoy was 22 for, he had a start, I think, 2 weeks ago, and then for some reason he wasn't on the sideline last week. Cameron's 22 for 42, 52.7%, 366 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. We've talked all year about the 3-headed monster at tailback with the 2 sophomores, Thad Stuckey and Dane Mccoy, and the senior, who we've really liked watching run this year, Kendall France. France is 52 carries for 396 yards, 7.6 per touch, 6 touchdowns. Another player that we've really liked this year, Tony, is 81, Carter Huffman, a wide receiver and safety. In the wide receiver role, he's had 16 catches, 321 yards, 20.1 per catch, which is fantastic, and 4 touchdowns. Defense, look for sophomore Derek Perdue. He led the SBAAC with 6 sacks, and he also had a fumble recovery. And our man Carter Huffman had 3 interceptions to lead the secondary. And we don't want to forget the very good junior kicker, Parker Henry, number 19. He's a good one.
Well, the Wilmington kids are out on the field. They've been waiting for their counterparts, the Little Miami Panthers. Looks like Wilmington is lined up ready to receive a kickoff, and they've been out there for about a minute. Finally, Little Miami trots on the field, and we're about ready for high school football on October 30, Halloween Eve, the night before Halloween, week 10 of OHSSA football. It's a regular season game, technically, under the new format, not playoffs, but it does matter, like you said, Jeff. So we're underway here, and Little Miami is kicking off to Wilmington. Wilmington will be going left to right on the receipt of the kickoff, and the ball is caught at about the 22-yard line, and look who's rumbling and stumbling, Jeff. Number 55, that's Brett Brooks.
I think he's done that maybe once this year. Wasn't it last week?
He did not. He kneeled.
He kneeled, and the coach wanted him to rumble, as I recall.
I love watching him go because he's a big kid, and it takes a whole village to tackle him.
You know, if you had one of the old offenses like I ran, I'd stick him at fullback and let him run.
Hand him the ball. That type of offense, as you just said, is way out of style, though. Look who's at quarterback. It is number 11, the senior Peyton Hibbard.
And Cameron is on the sidelines tonight.
So there's a handoff into the line, and busting ahead looks like number 26, Thane Stuckey with the opening carry. The sophomore running back gets very close to a first down, and we're underway, Jeff.
Stuckey's actually the leading rusher for Wilmington this year. He's got 407 yards and 3 touchdowns.
So it is second and a short one for Wilmington on their opening possession. There's a handoff again to Stuckey, who cuts back to the left and then into the middle to about the Little Miami 43, and enough for a first down for Wilmington as they start their opening drive tonight. Week 10, the final game of the year. It's campusnation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation, and 106.9, the sister station in Jeffersonville. Hibbard under center, another handoff to Stuckey. Breaks away, was tackled in the backfield almost by 79 Brenton Simmerman, but broke out.
Coach Killen, obviously, the scouting report is that Little Miami must be a little weak up front. He's actually, the first 3 plays of the game, run an unbalanced line to the right, where you have 3 of your linemen to the right of center and only 1 to the left with a tight end.
I see that. How about that? 2nd and 4. Handoff again to Stuckey, who cuts back inside. Gets about to the 32 of Little Miami on a 2nd down run. Going to bring up about 3rd and maybe 1, Jeff.
Well, I may have been wrong on that. The person who lined up on the left side on the line had a lineman number 2. They've got 6 lineman numbers up there. And so I'm not sure why that is, but I'll try to figure it out as we go on.
Because on the right side is 58. So he lined up as like a tight end, perhaps, Jeff?
Well, he must be eligible then. That must be, it would be actually on the left side. Whoever is on the line, the last person on the line is the eligible receiver. So whoever is playing left end or / left tackle, I'm guessing would be the
So a little different look for Scott Killen. Is that confusing to the Little Miami defense of who's eligible?
Well, they have to announce, tell the referees.
There goes Stuckey breaking outside to the left and inside the 15-yard line. What a nice run by the sophomore running back, Thad Stuckey. Playing his final game of his sophomore year, but he's got a bright future, as we've said for many weeks here on campusnation.com.
I mean, it's really power coming right at Little Miami every play. It's interesting.
So Wilmington marching on their first drive. Like you said, everything under center and everything's a power handoff with a fullback leading the way. There's another handoff to Stuckey, who this time is going to be tackled behind the line. That's number 57, Casey Samuel, with the tackle, but a flag down. What do we have here? Going to be a hold, and looks like against Wilmington, so the drive is going to be marched back. They were moving the ball, Jeff, and then a penalty.
That's a major mistake down there at the 13, 14-yard line.
First quarter, 9:20 left, just getting started here at Alumni Field. The Wilmington Hurricane hosting the Little Miami Panthers. So now we have a 1st and 20 for Wilmington, who are driving. Let's see if they can get the offense cranked back up. And for the first time, it's a shotgun snap and a pass into the end zone. And it looks like it is caught. Is it number 81? Carter Huffman. So it's Peyton Hibbard to Carter Huffman for a touchdown, Jeff.
Play we've seen so often this year. They went into the spread, brought in an extra receiver who was clear, and they got one-on-one coverage with on Huffman to the left. Just runs basically an out or an up pattern, and throw the ball up and hope he catches it. He made a nice play.
Perfectly thrown ball and a even better catch on the catch end. There's whistles, and we're going to have illegal procedure against Wilmington. He pointed to Little Miami, but he means Wilmington.
That's Carter's 5th touchdown reception this year, Tony.
I like the pass. I like the catch. Good looking on both ends. Perfectly thrown ball and a gorgeous catch. One-on-one coverage, and he went up and on a contested play and came down with it. And was happy about it, too, that's for sure. There's Parker Henry with the point after touchdown. Wilmington breaks out 7-0. Good time to talk about Colette Farms.
Colette Farms Pioneer Seed is a family-owned and operated seed dealership offering Pioneer brand products, seed treatments, and trusted agronomic advice for over 45 years. With the use of local data, technology, and digital tools, Colette Farms helps farmers maximize every acre's potential. Count on Colette Farms to be there throughout the season, working directly with you. Colette Farms Pioneer Seed, farmers just like you.
Another fine sponsor all year long has been John Roberts Excavating. Located in Wilmington, it's a family-owned business since 1998. They are specialized and experienced in general excavation, sewer storm grading, field tile, drainage, land clearing, ponds demolition, and paving. Look us up on Facebook or call 937-382-1788. John Roberts Excavating started in 1998, and of course, we'll have some 1998 trivia for Jeff Merklin, for Rick Phillips, and for Sidney Phillips to ponder later on. And for our audience, too. There's the kick down inside the 10-yard line, and that one goes almost nowhere as the return is bottled up by the Wilmington special teams, and Little Miami will take over around the 15-yard line, maybe the 16.
I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that. I did not see one Little Miami player block one Wilmington player.
Nobody. That was Well, I think we've seen it on Sunday sometime between 1 and 4 o'clock.
With the offense on the field.
Yeah. But it's rare on a kickoff. I agree. All right, 9 minutes to go. Little Miami in the shotgun formation. Aiden Jones, the quarterback. There's a sweep and a big tackle by Carter Huffman, who throws Reese Stockdale out of bounds. Carter Huffman with a touchdown and the first tackle on defense. It don't get much better than that, Jeff. But there's a flag. Do we have a roughing on Carter?
I think that was on Little Miami.
Yeah.
Was it a hold?
Yeah, they're moving him back. Are they going to decline that one? Scott Killen, head coach? I think he did.
One referee marked it off. The other
Right.
I guess that was the umpire one of the linesmen walked it off, and then the referee said, no, they're going to decline it. So we already have a little bit of...
Right, Mr. Linesman, I don't think it's your job to spot penalties, right?
I would agree.
That's the guy in the white hat who's supposed to do that. And there's going to be a false start.
That may be on Wilmington, kind of enticing the guard into a move.
I think they're going to call it on Wilmington. You're right. Well, let's see. We just don't. We've said this all year long, and I'm not sure who's to blame, and maybe there's no blame, but it's difficult to catch the calls at times by the officials. Sometimes they tell us, sometimes they don't. Sometimes we have mics, and sometimes we don't.
Sometimes we have masks, and sometimes
Yeah,
we don't.
that's true. There's a pass down the sideline by Aiden Jones. It is caught. Do we have a completion over there, Jeff? Or
Trey
is it out of
Williams,
bounds?
nice catch.
Yes, they're going to call it a catch in bounds by Trey Williams.
6'4", 190-pound senior for Little Miami. Put him out there on one side and Reese Stocksdale on the other, and you've really got a nice combination of wideouts.
Nice throw by Aiden Jones and a nice catch by Williams. So a big first down gain by Little Miami as they have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 40-yard line. First quarter, trailing 7-0. Wilmington out to a lead. There goes number 7. That's Reese Stocksdale on the kind of end-around handoff. Looks like he gained about 6 on that one, Jeff.
Yeah, it's been a standard play out of the spread. The slot back comes in motion. Gets ahead of steam, and they just hand him the ball, and he tries to beat the defense to the edge.
That's like the modern version of the Green Bay Packer power sweep, only it starts a different way.
Yeah, and the linemen don't pull any
pull,
guards,
do
but
they? Yeah,
the guards
they
don't pull, but it does look very similar to that. I'll give you that.
Why does that work in 1968 but not in 2020, Jeff? It's the same field, the same ball. Why do sweeps are a thing of the past?
Well, because out of the spread, other than that play you just saw, it's almost impossible to run a sweep, and kids are much more trained in pass blocking now than run blocking.
There's a handoff into the line and a big tackle. Who got the tackle? What a nice tackle that was. 54 for Wilmington. Brock Rapich. Make it 84. Jaden Tackett with the tackle. So we have 84 Jaden Tackett.
Another sophomore, Tony.
Right. They're amazing, that class. So the class of 23 for Wilmington is the one to look out for. So
I'd really like to know what they did as junior high and freshman.
3rd and 2 for Little Miami. There's that same formation and a handoff to number 1. That's Riley Pringle, who spun down, loses yardage. So now it's an early 4th down decision for Coach Jones, and it looks like the punting team is trotting on, Jeff.
Very good play by the Wilmington defender. I'm sorry, I just couldn't catch his number.
This isn't 4-down territory? Guess not.
Well, we'll see if he punts here.
Well, it might be it's a beautiful spot on the field for a fake. But no, he does kick it out of there. So the Carter Huffman waiting for the fair catch on the 20-yard line. So Wilmington takes over after stopping the Little Miami offense. Tell us about Shelley McCune Realtors.
Tony, Coldwell Banker shines like no other. There's only one real estate company that's guided people home for over 114 years. Call Shelley McCune with Coldwell Banker, West Shell. Your neighbor, your friend, your hometown realtor, bringing you exceptional service, honesty, and integrity throughout the entire home buying or selling process.
So Wilmington takes over on their about the 20. On their own 20, 1st and 10, first quarter action, 7:12 to go, leading 7-0. There's a handoff into the middle of the line, which doesn't get much for Wilmington.
On the spread set, Tony, there is just the 5 offensive linemen with lineman numbers. I think what's going on the eye, and I got confused because 3 linemen numbered to the right of center. I think there's the tight end that reports
50s,
in
yeah.
and with the odd number and has to report to the referee.
And do the defense know it?
The referees are supposed to tell the defense that
Okay.
number 58 is eligible.
So that changes the defensive assignments, right, when they see him in eligible position.
Should.
There's Hibbert in the shotgun, steps back to pass, fires deep downfield.
Got him.
There's Carter Huffman again with a long reception and a long striding run.
80 yards.
If that's not Adam Thielen, I don't know who is, Jeff. It looks like Adam Thielen.
Well, the
We're going to have
quarterback,
to start calling him that.
Peyton, looked a little like Joe Burrow on that
What
play.
a beautiful throw and a gorgeous catch and run by Carter Huffman. Peyton Hibbert's pass right on the money, in stride. Didn't break stride at all, and he just races to the end zone for the second touchdown pass combination. Hibbert to Huffman. And I hate to say, for all the parents and grandparents and relatives and girlfriends, this is the last one, huh, Jeff? Both seniors.
Both seniors.
But boy, they're going out in glory with two early touchdown passes and a beautiful one from Peyton Hibbert to Carter Huffman. The extra point good by Parker Henry, and Wilmington is out 14-0. A good time, Jeff, to talk about McCune Painting and Renovation.
McCune Painting and Renovation, LLC, is located here in Wilmington, Ohio. McCune Painting and Renovation is your trusted contractor with over 25 years of experience, offering interior and exterior custom painting and home renovations. Call Nevin today at 937-728-5585. That's 937-728-5585 for a free quote.
What a good-looking play that was.
Talk about dropping a dime.
When you go back and watch that one on campusnation.com and the YouTube channel, you're going to see a thing of beauty. Hibbert to Carter Huffman, 80-yarder. Doesn't get any prettier than that.
I'd really like to have seen this Wilmington team with all their games in, and I'd like to have seen them up at DeSales. They've just improved so much.
Yeah, I agree. To see how they would have done in that game, because you're right, they are rolling lately. There's a kick inside the 15-yard line return. Looks like number 21, Nathan Redman, with the kick return, and Little Miami takes over for their second possession. I agree with you. Wilmington, it seems like they've gotten better and better and better every week. And like you said, didn't get a chance to really measure it against the DeSales team in Columbus.
And, of course, the point there is even if you lose that game, what an experience being in the playoffs, second round for the young kids. That's invaluable.
To go to Columbus and play the dynasty of St. Francis de Sales, I agree completely. Well, there's a mix-up, but it is complete. Amazing. The ball is snapped to number 16, Aiden Jones. Now, Jeff, the ball popped out of his hand and he caught it.
It went backwards.
Is that a legal pass?
It went backwards. You can't have two forward passes, so if he'd caught it in front of him and did that, that would have been a penalty. But
Right.
It went backwards, so he certainly had a great presence of mind to get rid of the ball and complete it.
We saw Ben Roethlisberger do that, and it was successful for the Steelers. We watched Gus Frerotte do that for the Bengals, and it wasn't successful. What does that tell you?
A lot.
Yeah, it does. It tells you a lot. And it was successful for Aiden Jones. And Aiden on the keeper that time. Yeah, why does Ben do the same clownish-looking things and it's complete? And our guy does the same clownish-looking things and it's intercepted and returned for a touchdown.
Well,
I don't get it.
You brought up the good point of the shovel passes last week, too. When Ben does it, it's a first down.
Yeah.
When we do it, it's pick six.
There's Aiden Jones with a keeper, and he is buried. Brings up fourth down. So looks like the punting team of Little Miami is back on the field, and they're going to kick it out of there again.
I think that's that tackle was made by that super soft Derek Purdue, just completely dominating his man up front.
So number 14 is the punter. Is it Ty Williams? Let's see if we can get. It's Carter Huffman already with 2 touchdowns on the receiving end of this punt. Little Miami a little slow to get their punt team on, but now they're set. And it's going to be kicked out of there by Little Miami, and it is going to bounce, and it takes a Wilmington bounce, and it's rolling dead close to the 45-yard line of Wilmington, where they take over for their 3rd possession, already leading 14-0. Wilmington over Little Miami. Ettinger Farms, Jeff, what about them?
Ettinger Farms, Tony, is family owned and operated, and it focuses on providing its customers with the highest quality hay and straw. The experts on their team can provide you with the perfect product for any operation and offer both delivery and unloading services. Ettinger Farms also sells both farm fresh beef and pork to fill your freezer. Find them on Facebook or visit their website at ettingerfarms.com.
We talked about the seniors, Hibbard and Carter Huffman, and the rest of the seniors that are out here for their final game. It's an emotional night, isn't it?
Very much so. I still remember my last game. We weren't sure we were going to make the playoffs then, and we thought it was over, and that was very sad. And especially these kids have going out on a great note tonight so far. They're going to miss the game. It's just that simple. I hope they get a chance to play in college.
Dane McCoy was the ball carrier, another of the super sophomore class of 23 for Wilmington High. Gained about a yard, so brings up 2nd and 9. And another handoff into the line, and there he goes. And is he gone? Is he gone? No, he's caught from behind. That's number 24, Dane McCoy, busting out of there with a beautiful open field run. And another long run for Wilmington.
I almost hate to say it, that he's the other sophomore, so to speak, and you saw his burst of speed. Coach Killen has a good problem next year. I imagine he'll just continue to use 2 backs, if not 3 again.
And it works. It does work.
Boy, he's got a burst of speed.
Yes, that was a very, it looked like a rocket shot out of there. Dane McCoy, the sophomore running back, just exploding up the middle, and he was caught from behind. It looked like he was running out of steam heading to the end zone. But it's a 1st and 10 from about the 15-yard line. 15-yard line. There's Hibbard's pass again. It is broken up, intended for Carter Huffman in the corner of the end zone.
Interference.
That ball looked perfectly thrown, too, by Peyton Hibbard.
I think
Perfect.
it was, and I'll be honest, yeah.
What a great throw.
I didn't see interference on that, but
it was fantastic coverage, but maybe against the, as Paul Keels would say, against the stated rules. Or agreed rules, that's what he says.
Yeah.
He says against the agreed rules.
Well, that's tough play for the defensive back. Inevitably, they almost have to have a little bit of a touch going on, and that looks to me like what the referee called, just a touch.
Well, it is a pass interference, so it brings up 1st and goal now for Wilmington at about the 7-yard line. Hibbard a handoff, and the ball's fumbled on the ground and picked up by Little Miami. That's number 12 on the fumble recovery, Lucas Swerk. Lucas Swerk is the recovering defender for Little Miami, so a mistake on 1st and goal for Wilmington stymies that drive. Jeff, what happened there?
Yeah, the handoff was not clean. He was bobbling it going through the line, and as he was going to the ground, he just lost control of it. And I think it was Josh Snell. If he hadn't made the tackle, that would have been 6 points going the other way.
So Little Miami takes over, stopping the Wilmington drive on 1st and goal with a fumble recovery. So a huge turn there as Little Miami, there's flags and movement on the line.
Should be offside, encroachment, whatever you want to call it.
It's one of those words, of course you know it, encroachment. Try to look up encroachment in a Webster's dictionary and see if you find that word anywhere. Who thought of the word encroachment?
Same guy that made a bunch of other terms, making the
Right.
sport a little more difficult.
There's a long pass downfield. It is caught by number 7, Reese Stocksdale, and he is racing to the end zone for a touchdown. The ball a little bit underthrown by Aiden Jones, but Reese Stocksdale had his man beaten so much that he waited for it, caught it, and he was off to the races for a long touchdown pass and run.
He got behind the safety there. I'm not quite sure what the safety was looking at. That was the only guy in his area, but he ran right by him. And I think you can see with that speed how Reese Stocksdale has been a 4-year starter for Little Miami.
All kinds of wheels. And here's the point after. The kicker for Little Miami is Lucas Swerk. Spot is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So a big turn of events there as Wilmington was going in for a 3-score lead. Instead, they recover the fumble, and they throw a long 80-yard touchdown pass from Aiden Jones to Reese Stocksdale to cut the lead to 14-7. How about Brown Funeral Home?
Brown Funeral Home in Wilmington is proud to support the student athletes of Clinton and surrounding counties. The hard work, dedication, and passion shown by these athletes are the same principles we adhere to at our funeral home. The team of Kevin Brown and Billy Earhart are always here to assist your family in your time of need. From pre-planning to at need, we offer a wide range of services that are economically friendly to all. To contact Brown Funeral Home, call 937-382-2247. That's 937-382-2247. You can also find them online at Earhart-brown.com or on Facebook at Brown Funeral Home. Brown Funeral Home, celebrating lives committed to the community.
It's campusnation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation. The sister radio station is 106.9 out of Jeffersonville. Colton Blankenship is the kicker who kicks off, and it is recovered. And taking it across the 40-yard line is number 15, Josh Snell. Looked like for a minute that he wanted to pitch it to somebody, but he kept it and has a nice return. 2:39 to go, first quarter. Kingdom Exteriors is at that time of year, and the projects you've been putting off still need to be finished. Is a new roof one of those projects? One simple call could get that out of the way. Kingdom Exterior specializes in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and decks. Winter is coming, so trust their 30 years of experience. Serving the Wilmington, Lebanon, Greater Dayton, and Cincinnati areas. Call Kelly at Kingdom Exteriors, the number 513-696-9593. Kingdom Exteriors. First down completion from Hibbard to Isaiah Wriggling. Looks like about a 7-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 3. So that's where you want to be, don't you, Jeff? 2nd and 3.
Be interesting to see what we have called here. I'd go to Carter Huffman on this one, frankly.
Well, Hibbert's looking out there for him. You might be right.
Whoops,
There's
another
a botch
fumble.
snap, and I think Little Miami has recovered. So another mistake by Wilmington, and the momentum has changed big time as a turnover number 2 now for Wilmington. It's a fumbled snap, mishandled snap, and Little Miami capitalizes by recovering.
If anybody out there doubts that turnovers are an important part of this game, I think we've got the proof tonight that they are.
There's no doubt about that. You win the turnover battle, you're usually going to win the game, usually. So Little Miami takes over on their own 47, down 14-7. There's a long ball down the field that is broken up, incomplete. That's Aiden Jones, intended over there. Looks like for Braden Bischoff, number 2, the receiver.
That's correct, Tony.
So Tanner Killen on the defensive side, 2 number 2s going at it. Ball's incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Tanner really had good position on that. The ball was underthrown, as it's often the case on that pattern, but he kind of, without interfering, he sealed the receiver off from coming back to get it.
So brings up a 2nd down and 10. Shotgun snap and a little short screen is incomplete. Aiden Jones intended for Riley Pringle. Ball a little overthrown and falls incomplete. Now we're 3rd and 10.
Reason that play didn't go on the screen is the offensive left tackle did. On that play, you're supposed to just check him a little bit, check the defender, and then get out for the screen. He barely even touched him, and so the defender got in just a little too quick and had his arms up, and the ball had to be lobbed.
So it's 2nd down 10. Back to pass and a fired pass incomplete. Aiden Jones to the sideline. Intended for number 7, Reese Stocksdale. That connection hit for a touchdown. So the 3rd down play falls incomplete, and it looks like Little Miami's kicking it out of there again.
It's a good 3 and out for Wilmington.
Yeah. They survived the turnover, didn't give up points. So Carter Huffman standing about his 10-yard line waiting for the punt. The ball is kicked out of there. Great punt. It's going to go over his head. Does it fall? No, it's in the end zone. So it went over Carter's head into the end zone for a touchback where Wilmington will take over on their 20. Jeff, tell us about Sam's Meats.
Football fans, stop by Sam's Meats, located here in Wilmington at 1209 West Locust Street, and support a locally owned and operated business. Sam's Meats has fresh chicken, pork, and beef, along with deli cheese and lunch meats. Their meat deals are a great way to buy meats in bulk, helping to save you both time and money. The dining room is open for you to enjoy homemade hot bar meals and their made-to-order grill menu. Sam's is open from 9 to 6:30 Monday through Friday and 8 to 6 on Saturdays. Check out Sam's Meats.
So Hibbert in the shotgun on 1st down. There's a handoff to 26, Thad Stuckey. Tripped up after maybe a yard. Maybe lost a yard.
Nice play that time by, well, it looked like 76. I don't have that on my roster. Maybe my eyes are bad and it's somebody else.
Shane Busher, I think, wears 76 on defense. They told us that he alternates either sometimes 6 or sometimes 76, and tonight he's 76.
Well, that makes sense. He's the other player on Little Miami that started for 4 years, and if he's coming in, he came out like a rocket and hit the hole and brought the running back down that time.
So it's 2nd and 11, and Hibbert's quick pass is incomplete. Intended for his favorite target, Carter Huffman. Brings up a 3rd and 11, 51 seconds left, 1st quarter at Alumni Field, campusnation.com, and the YouTube channel of Campus Nation. 3rd and 11 for Wilmington, leading 14-7 over Little Miami, the Panthers of Little Miami. 4 receivers, 2 out wide left, 2 out wide right, Jeff. There's Hibbert back to pass and guns it over the middle. Intended for Tanner Killen, but it falls incomplete.
That play, Tony, Wilmington really tried to spread the field, hoping that the safety would favor one side of the field and then hit the receiver down the middle. Safety didn't bite. He was there, and the pass was incomplete.
So Parker Henry is on to punt for Wilmington as their drive sputters. Wilmington getting out 14-0 has sputtered a little bit since. A couple turnovers and a quick 3 and out. There's Parker Henry's punt, which is fielded by Reese Stocksdale. A very dangerous field, but he picks it up without any fumbling or any muff and runs out of bounds. That was a dangerous play, don't you think, Jeff?
Confident play, I'd like
Yeah.
to say, and he probably saved him. What do you think, 20, 25
least.
yards?
At least.
It would have probably kept rolling, and I think he got about 8 to 10 on the return.
So I like your word better. Confident. He knew he was going to get it, and he knew he was going to get positive yardage. Sign of a great athlete that has that type of mentality. Instead of watching the ball roll, he picks it up and he makes something out of it. And there he goes again, and he is long gone again. Wow. What a run by Reese Stocksdale. We were just talking about him
May have a penalty.
on the special teams. Is there a flag? Is it going to come back? It looks like it's coming back. The officials are going to wave it off, but wow, what a run by Reese.
Holding. They're not waving it off. It's on Little Miami. My gosh, he's fast.
Yes, you talk about burst. But it goes for naught as there is no touchdown, even though it was a great-looking run, but it is going to be called back for a penalty. So Wilmington dodges another bullet. A touchdown run by Stocksdale. Wow, what wheels.
Well, he runs that stretch play again and
Just
cuts it up.
outran the defense.
He just sees the first hole on the outside, and if you're fast, you can dart through it like that. It's a great play.
It's like goodbye, and that's what he waved. But the penalty brings it back. There's Aiden Jones firing downfield. The ball is incomplete. Intended over there for number 2, Braden Bischoff. So Little Miami goes from potentially a tied game to now 2nd and 20. It sure is a game of momentum. You think Wilmington's going in to go up 3 scores, and then Little Miami gets a long touchdown bomb, and then they get a touchdown called back. It's just ebb and flow, up and down, up and down. And it can change in a heartbeat. There's Aiden Jones back to pass, looking, bounces out of there and fires downfield, and that ball is up in the air, and it is bobbled and almost brought down by Ty Williams, but he couldn't come up with it. Juggling the ball, and it falls incomplete. Almost got it.
Tony, going back to that stretch play for just a second that Stocksdale ran in and was called back. It looks like the same play anytime any team does it, but every team probably blocks it maybe a little different. There's 3 factors that go into it, and if we have some time later, talk about that.
It is 3rd and 20 now for Little Miami, as Jones looks to the sideline for some calls. There he gets back to pass, fires deep downfield, and that ball is caught, but it is out of bounds. Reese Stocksdale, he ran underneath that ball. That was not even close to him, but he was able to run and get under it and caught it. But, of course, it's out of bounds, so it's another play that goes for naught. However, that's 2 spectacular plays by Reese Stocksdale that neither one of them end up in the scoreboard, but you saw them as our audience, and we saw them. Wow, 2 wow plays. But like we said, neither to any advantage. There's the punt to Huffman, and Little Miami, number 26, Joey Beck, picked it up, and that is absolutely right. The punt hit a Wilmington player, and Joey Beck of Little Miami was alert and awake, and he picked it up. They wouldn't let him advance it, because it was a muff, but it is a recovery by Little Miami. Now the officials are huddling. Are they going to allow this to stand?
Another huddle. Why do they have to huddle so much? It just drives me crazy. I mean, what do the linemen need to talk about? The linesmen, what do they need to talk about on
Well,
that
they're
play?
talking about whether or not anybody saw it touched or not is probably what the call is. The the thing is, here's what gets me about it. Somebody had to see it touched, or he wouldn't have called Little Miami ball. So how does someone else come out and say no, he didn't touch it? I don't get it. I agree with you. It's always confusing when you see something. How can it be overturned by someone else? But it is ruled a Little Miami recovery. So here's the thing: the official that saw it, how can somebody from somewhere else say no, you didn't see that? It just makes
Especially if you remember where they were located on the field and they were 70 yards away.
right.
That just it's bizarre to
But they
me.
did huddle and they did give Little Miami the ball. So another momentum shifter as Little Miami's drive extends with the fumble recovery on the muffed punt. And there's Aiden Jones back to pass, rolling to his right and firing deep downfield. And that is, again, is that Stocksdale again?
I
Yes,
don't.
it is. No, that one was
That's
Braden Bischoff. A great catch, but out of bounds. That brings us to the end of the first quarter here at Alumni Field as Wilmington leads the Little Miami Panthers 14-7 at Alumni Field, Wilmington High School. Week 10 of the high school football season, and a good time to talk about Colette Farms.
Colette Farms Pioneer Seed is a family-owned and operated seed dealership offering Pioneer brand products, seed treatments, and trusted agronomic advice for over 45 years. With the use of local data, technology, and digital tools, Colette Farms is able to help farmers maximize every acre's potential. Count on Colette Farms to be there throughout the season, working directly with you. Colette Farms Pioneer Seed, farmers just like you.
14-7 is our first quarter score. I am Tony Mancuso doing the play-by-play Week 10 of high school football on CampusNation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation. Jeff Merklin, as always, is the color analyst, state champion, high school quarterback for West Jefferson, college quarterback for Muskingum, longtime coach, currently doing girls basketball, right, Jeff?
That's my 12th year. I've really enjoyed the sport, and I got into it because my daughter had played, and I coached her youth teams, and just wanted to take a chance.
Good for you. There is a handoff into the line, and that's number 1, Riley Pringle, who busts his way inside the 10 and is stopped short of the end zone. But a first down for Little Miami, who's threatening to bring this game to a tie. We got first and goal for Little Miami.
And guys, just a program note. Don't forget, tomorrow night we have Waverly being hosted by the Clinton Massey Falcons. That game, once again, on Campus Nation, 6:45 on CampusNation.com and the YouTube channel of Campus Nation.
That was Rick Phillips, who runs the CampusNation.com organization. And there's a handoff or pitch to Pringle, who's inside the 5 to about the 4. Like he just said, tomorrow night, a big playoff game on our network. Waverly versus Clinton Massey.
That's the best team Waverly's had down there in many a year. It'll be interesting to see what happens up there at Clarksville area. And I kind of think Waverly will keep it close for a while. We'll see what happens. Still going to be tough to beat Massey up there.
So it's a second and goal from about the 4, maybe the 5. There's flags on the field. What do we have?
I think that's illegal procedure. False start, I'm sorry.
Right, we just do not get.
He had his hand in the air.
Yeah, I'm not
what
sure.
What does that mean?
It means your hand's in the air is what it means.
Honestly.
Right, that's what it means.
Very profound.
It's just we're just not sure.
I've never seen anything like
and
it.
I know the audience is confused too because you're getting the pictures on the network, and it is a penalty. And there's another false start by Little Miami.
I just want to see him give the signal, just for the sake.
Let's see if we do it this time. Okay,
There
that
we
time
go.
we got one.
It was about just a little one
Doesn't-
hand over the other, but we got it.
But he didn't point to who it was on, even
Was
though
that like Red Rover?
we
or
knew it
what
was little. We knew it was on Little Miami. The whole audience knew it, but the official didn't tell us. There's Aiden Jones rolling out to his right and firing over the
behind.
middle, just a little bit behind. Reese Stocksdale that time falls incomplete. So Little Miami's shooting themselves in the foot on 2 straight penalties. They were inside the Wilmington shadows of the goalpost and then have 2 5-yard penalties in a row. So they're back out to their 15-yard line and it's 3rd and goal. Jones in the shotgun snap on 3rd and goal. Takes the snap, rolls to his right
Wide
and
open.
fires, and his man is wide open. And a beautifully designed play. A gorgeous throw by Aiden Jones to number 3, Trey Williams. A touchdown for Little Miami. Tell us what you saw there, Jeff, because that was another beautifully designed play.
Well, you had the receiver, or I should say the slot back coming in motion, fake the stretch play, look to the right, and then the receiver goes completely, he keeps going out and just turns it up. Nobody picked him up.
Ran free and then a perfectly thrown ball by Aiden Jones. The point after touchdown is good by Lucas Swerk, the kicker for Little Miami, and we now have a game, 14-14 here at Alumni Field. Good time to bring in John Roberts Excavating.
John Roberts Excavating, located in Wilmington, is a family-owned business open since 1998. John Roberts Excavating is specialized and experienced in general excavation, sewer, storm, grading, field tile, drainage, land clearing, ponds, demolition, and paving. Look up John Roberts Excavating on Facebook or call 937-382-1788. That's 937-382-1788 for a free estimate.
Well, we looked up a little while ago, and it was 14-0, and Wilmington was going in to take a 20 or 21-0 lead, and there was a fumble, and now we look back up, folks, at the scoreboard, and it's all tied up, 14-14.
Actually, has it been 3 fumbles? Did they end up on the punt ruling that a fumble?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
so
that's
there's been 3 of them.
My goodness.
You got to win the turnover battle, and that's what's kept Little Miami in the game. So I'm sure Coach Killen going out for in his final game this year is not going to be too happy about the turnovers. There's a kickoff bouncing and is picked up at the 15-yard line. It's Isaiah Ringling who's got some running room, and he crosses to the 42-yard line. There's flags down. Wonder if we're going to get a face mask tacked on to that run, Jeff.
I think he's going to call a horse collar tackle. If he does, it was
Horse
wrong
collar.
because the guy had a fistful of jersey, and you're allowed to pull the jersey.
Well, let's see. Here comes
Yeah,
another.
the conference.
Here comes another of our famous or infamous huddles as the 5 officials meet about the 42-yard line, and all 5 are going to give their opinion of what they saw. So Jeff Merkland says it should not be a penalty, and they are picking it up, and you were right, Jeff. I'll tell you, this guy is right so often.
That you should never argue with me.
Well, that's another subject.
Well, that's what my wife tells me. I should never argue with her.
That was Rick Phillips, his voice, and Sydney is smiling over there,
The
saying,
boss.
Yep. Cameron McAvoy in the game, Jeff, and at quarterback, and there's a keeper, and he's getting some snaps at QB.
Not surprised.
Trying to spark the offense.
That's what he did up at Clinton Massey. And, of course, the game we saw against Marietta, the playoff game, he had a beautiful game. And I'll be honest with you, when the first two fumbles were botched handoffs, and, the quarterback has to take responsibility for that. And my guess is that's why Cameron's in the game.
So 2nd and 8. McAvoy with a handoff into the line, and there goes number 26, and he is still on his feet. Thad Stuckey just barreling over the little Miami defenders and all the way to about the 32-yard line. What a great run.
It's been a game that just goes back and forth. Momentum lasts for a while, but when the other team gets it, they take it to the max.
Well, Cameron McAvoy coming in at quarterback, trying to spark the Wilmington Hurricane to get back in the game. There's a handoff and a cutback, and what a nice run there again by 26 Thad Stuckey, and he is still not down. And you have a kid, Jeff, that what a 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th effort he made on that.
These sophomores, Stuckey is, of course, fast too, but he's the one that seems to be a little more difficult to bring down, and McCoy just seems maybe a little bit more burst-like, if you will, through the hole. So either one, that's a wicked combination.
Well, Stuckey on that carry looked like he was tackled 4 or 5 times, and he still wasn't down. He just kept churning and churning and churning for a Wilmington first down. Great run. And this time McAvoy keeps it and races out to his right.
Good grief.
And the ball's incomplete.
He had two people wide open, and the first player thought it was to him, and so he reached up, and he couldn't catch it, and he knocked it down from the second guy who was the intended receiver. He may have walked in and scored.
Right, Josh Snell, the first receiver, Jaden Tackett, the second. But the ball falls harmlessly incomplete, so it's 2nd and 10 for Wilmington. 8:52 to go, first half, in a 14-14 game. What a good game we've got so far. Great game. McAvoy, a handoff into the line, and there he goes again, and that's 26, Thad Stuckey, inside the 5-yard line as Wilmington is threatening to score again. So it'll be 1st and goal from about the 3.
They really need to get this in the end zone, Tony. Stop the bleeding a little bit that has happened the last 12 minutes.
8:40 to go and counting, second quarter. McAvoy under center, and he gives it to 26, Thad Stuckey. This time he's bottled up, no gain.
I'm going to make another bold statement on that formation. When the quarterback comes up under center, I do think it's an unbalanced line. That time to the left, and the reason is because the wide receiver was on the line of scrimmage covering the tackle, and on the right side you had nobody except a guard and what would be the tight end there, even though he had an offensive lineman's number. So it would be the tight end or the person that's playing tight end having to report in, and I believe it's still an unbalanced line.
So it's 2nd and goal for Wilmington. McAvoy again gives it to number 26, Stuckey. This time he is strung out and tripped up. The first hit made by number 2, Braden Bischoff. So now it's a big 3rd down and goal for Wilmington. But this is 4-down territory, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
You're going for it regardless. We hear the parents. Are they picked up?
That is Coach Killen's wife.
Yeah, you know,
you're
I
hearing.
was about to say that.
And as the entire press box erupts in laughter.
Yeah, because it's one voice for the Wilmington
And she's never been any different.
community. McAvoy fires into the end zone. It is incomplete. Intended for Carter Huffman.
Big call here by her husband.
Now there's some giggles up here, but there is one obvious super fan.
Going to go for 3, it looks like.
And we're
Tony.
told it is Mrs. Killen.
Yes, yes.
Is that official?
That's official. I have been at many a Wilmington game, and she's just as vocal anytime, to the point sometimes where she actually loses her voice. Surprise.
Well, she's passionate, that's for
Yes,
sure.
she is.
So here's Parker Henry with about a 20-yard field goal.
Oh, hits and
and it
bounces.
hits the upright. And
Goes
did
through.
it go
Yes,
through?
it
It
does.
Cue shot.
did. You know, those hitting the upright field goals, it's
17.
like it is good and it counts. It's 17-14 or 20-yard field goal by Parker. But, you know, what fate or luck or lack of fate or lack of luck, it hits that goal post and it can bonk away or it can bonk through. I'm not sure what physics or geometry is in
Luck.
play other than pure luck, right?
That's right.
Sometimes it'll hit those posts and it'll go flying off, and the other time it'll count.
Monday night, I was watching the NFL game and the halftime highlights. I don't remember the team or the kicker, but somebody hit the upright, it hit the crossbar, hit the other upright, and just plopped barely over. Never seen anything like that.
Shelley McCune, realtor, Caldwell Banker, shines like no other. Only one real estate company has guided people home for over 114 years. Call Shelley McCune with Caldwell Banker West Shell, your neighbor, your friend, your hometown realtor, bringing you exceptional service, honesty, and integrity throughout the entire home buying and selling process. Shelley McCune, realtor. So the field goal, whether it bonks off the goal post or not, is good. We don't worry about the bonking other than the fact that it went through. That's all that matters in the end. So the kick is returned by the Little Miami's number 21, who is still on his feet. That's Nathan Redman. Brings it across the 35-yard line.
He's a quick sophomore. He'll be in Little Miami's plans for the future, I believe.
So Little Miami takes over on the 36 with 6:51 to go. It's Wilmington 17, Little Miami 14. We got a good game here.
It's enjoyable. As
Very
I said
good
at the
game.
beginning, these games all of them are important
They
to the kids
matter,
playing.
of course they matter.
Absolutely,
You're out there
they
playing.
matter.
You got the lights, you got the scoreboard, you got the cameras. It matters. There's a handoff to number 1. That's Riley Pringle. Gets about a 3-yard gain for Little Miami on first down.
I was talking with some of their coaches before the game, that is Little Miami's coaches, because I noticed that they have a very large team, and so there are very few players that actually play both ways, maybe 3 or 4 they said, whereas Wilmington has a few more that actually have to go both ways simply because of the number of members of the team.
Keep an eye on that as the game progresses.
Right, second half.
That was Rick Phillips. There's a snap over the head of the quarterback, Aiden Jones, who finally gains control of it and guns a pass to Braden Bischoff that falls off his fingertips, incomplete.
Ball should have been caught there. It was a nice play.
That was a gun by Aiden Jones.
It was he had a little trouble with the snap, reacted well, got out of the pocket, and on the run just threw a
Once he got it in his hand, it was a rifle coming out of
frozen rope.
But incomplete. So brings up 3rd and 8 for Little Miami at the 38-yard line. Back to passes Jones, and he fires over the middle, and the ball looked like it should have been caught, but it is not. Incomplete to Ty Williams. That ball looked like it was thrown right exactly where you'd want it if you were the Coach Jones.
Yeah, you don't want that high.
No.
If anything low, just go down there and catch it, and
Perfect.
you got a first down.
I think that's where that play is designed to be thrown, and it was thrown, and it's not caught. So it's 4th down, and it brings up a punting situation for Little Miami. Carter Huffman back again as the punt is kicked out of there by Ty Williams, and up for the fair catch this time is Carter Huffman at about the 33. So Wilmington will take over, about the 30, where do we have a 33-yard line? Yeah, 33-yard line for Wilmington. Good time to talk about McCune Painting and Renovation, Jeff.
McCune Painting and Renovation LLC is located here in Wilmington. McCune Painting and Renovation is your trusted contractor with over 25 years of experience, offering interior and exterior custom painting and home renovations. Call Nevin today at 937-728-5585. That's 937-728-5585 for a free quote.
So 6:04 to go, first half. Wilmington takes over, leading 17-14, and there's a handoff that's stuffed that time by the Little Miami defense. Dane Mccoy on the carry goes nowhere, and matter of fact, lost a yard or two.
That's Shane Busher again, that four-year starter at linebacker. They run him a little bit like Junior Seau used to. They'll put him in different spots on the field. That time he came from the right flank, and it's just so fast. He got around and got the runner before he could even get started.
So brings up 2nd and 11 for Wilmington. And there's Sean Busher again, rushing up to the line, and that ball is incomplete, falls to the ground. Number 84, the intended receiver, Jaden Tackett, another sophomore, bangs the turf, thinking he maybe should have caught the ball, but that was a tough catch.
It was low, but it was a couple feet off the ground. That would have not been the easiest catch, but as a quarterback, you hope those are always caught.
Brings up a 3rd and 11 for Wilmington. McAvoy takes the snap, back to pass, rolling to his right, fires it deep downfield, and that is going to be picked off by number 12. That's Lucas Swerk. So what do we got? We got a flag down.
Yeah, the interceptor, it looked like, and I don't think he was provoked. You never know what's said down there, but after Lucas Swerk got the interception, he got a little excited, and it looked like he kind of got in the face of the intended receiver there. That's going to be 15 on Little Miami.
But the interception will stick. That ball looked like it hung up forever, Jeff, and it looked like it slipped out of McAvoy's hand and was kind of up there fluttering for a little while, and Lucas Swerk just settled underneath it for the pick.
It's one of those times something bad turns into something good when you think about it. It was 3rd and long anyway.
Like a punt.
Like a punt plus 15. So
minus 15. Minus or plus, depending on what side, what team you're rooting for.
Well, it flipped the field for sure.
Yeah, and the Little Miami people up here in the press box were not happy about that penalty, but it's a turnover on the interception, excuse me. So Little Miami takes over on their 16-yard line, and there's a beautifully thrown ball, and I think we're going to have an interception the other way, and we do. So back-to-back interceptions, that one by Shane Griffith, who was waiting in deep center field for that pass, lining it up for the pick, and he did come down with it.
Ty Williams really, for Little Miami, made a great effort at the end of that play to try to get the equal catch, and so it goes to the offense, of course, but the referee was right there and saw the Wilmington player had clear possession on the way down.
Ettinger Farms, family owned and operated. Ettinger Farms focuses on providing its customers with the highest quality hay and straw. The experts on their team can provide you with the perfect product for any operation and offer both delivery and unloading services. Ettinger Farms also sells both farm fresh beef and pork to fill your freezer. Find them on Facebook or visit their website at EttingerFarms.com, EdingerFarms.com. That's Ettinger Farms. There's a pre-snap penalty.
That's Busher trying to get a little advantage on the snap, and he jumped offside.
So a free 5 yards for Wilmington after exchange of interceptions with 5:10 to go till halftime. So 1st and 5 for Wilmington at about midfield. There's a handoff into the line, and it is one of the super softs, and that one was Thad Stuckey. Gets about 2. 4:48 and counting. Alumni Field, campusnation.com. The YouTube channel of Campus Nation. Week 10 of high school football. Final regular season game, Little Miami versus Wilmington. McElvoy back to pass, fires deep downfield, and that ball is off the fingertips of the intended receiver. That's number 84, Jaden Tackett. Incomplete.
Wonder on that, Tony, if maybe there was a mix-up in routes because both receivers are running go routes and were about 5 yards from each other. Generally, you think you want a little bit more space between your receivers than that. Probably made it a little more difficult to make the catch. Just from seeing somebody else out of the corner of your eye, sometimes that happens.
So it's a 3rd down and 3 for Wilmington. Just across midfield at the Little Miami 48-yard line. Hand off to Stuckey, who breaks away, and it has for another first down run at about the 41-yard line. Dad Stuckey, the sophomore running back, having a great night tonight.
Excellent blocks up front by the Wilmington left side of their line. You could see the hole develop, and he just popped through there and got the first down.
4:12 to go, first half. 41-yard line. McElvoy back. No, it was a handoff into the line. Is it Blake Snell with the ball carrier?
It was the fullback.
Yeah, handoff to Snell. Great fake because I wasn't sure at first who had it, whether McElvoy still had it. So he faked us out up here. But it's a handoff to the fullback, Snell, for a gain of about 4. Make it 5. 2nd and 5 for Wilmington. There's a handoff again, and I'll tell you what, that kid runs so hard. That's Stuckey. It takes an army to bring him down. When he gets ahead of steam, he really is a tough running back, isn't he, Jeff?
Absolutely, and I got to tell you, I like this running out of the I formation. That, again, that's back from the Stone Age when I played. The I was actually kind of just coming into its prime, so to speak. But when you've got blockers up there, it's a great formation to run from.
With a fullback leading it. There's a handoff to Snell, who busts up the middle to about the 20.
I get the feeling, Tony, that things had gotten kind of wild there 4 or 5 minutes ago in the game, and when Coach Killen got the ball back, he's gone back to this controlled running game to try to not only score and maybe run out the clock, but maybe just to calm
it
things
down.
down.
Yes, great phrase, calm it down, because it got a little chaotic there back and forth with the turnovers and the penalties. So McElvoy to the line on 2nd and about 3. Drops back to pass and is flushed out to the left, and he hurries his throw that bounces incomplete to Josh Snell, the fullback.
Good pressure there by Nathan Gordon, who we talked about in the pregame.
This will be interesting. It's 3rd and 3 from the 20-yard line.
Run the ball.
Yes, run the ball.
And I'd say, it looks like they're going to go right if they do it.
So a big 3rd down for both teams. And it is a handoff to the right, as predicted again by our Nostradamus Tony Romo, Jeff Merklin type analyst.
I didn't know Rick was going to cut me a check like Tony Romo did.
Right. What's Tony makes $10 million a year? I think Tony makes more as a. I think Tony made more as an analyst than he did as a quarterback for Dallas. I really believe he
that's right.
did.
He's
So a Minnesota viewer.
That's great. Love it. So there goes Thad Stuckey again, and I'll tell you what, he is still churning. He's really having a night tonight. It's taken half the defense to bring him down, Jeff.
He's not a big guy. I mean,
No.
he can't be more than 150 pounds, but I bet he's nothing but muscle.
What a strong runner he is. He's been that way all year, and especially tonight. He's going out in a blaze of glory for his sophomore year because he's saying, look, you're not going to tackle me that easily. And they give it to him again, and this time he is stacked up.
Still can't get him
Gonna
down.
have
No, not
Gonna have
really.
to call timeout.
So 54 was the initial hit. That's Colin Struer.
And that's what happens. Wilmington calls timeout.
Yeah, Wilmington with a timeout to stop the clock at 50 seconds of the halftime. Good time to talk about another of our fine sponsors, Jeff Brown Funeral Home.
Tony Brown Funeral Home is located here in Wilmington and is proud to support the student athletes of Clinton and surrounding counties. The hard work, dedication, and passion shown by these athletes are the same principles that Brown Funeral Home adheres to at their business. The team of Kevin Brown and Billy Earhart are always here to assist your family in your time of need. From pre-planning to at need, we offer a wide range of services that are economically friendly to all. To contact Brown Funeral Home, call 937-382-2247. That's 937-382-2247. You can also find us online at earhart-brown.com or on Facebook at Brown Funeral Home. Brown Funeral Home, celebrating lives, committed to the community.
Kingdom Exteriors is at that time of year, and the projects you've been putting off still need to be finished. Is a new roof one of those projects? One simple call could get that out of the way. Kingdom Exteriors specializes in residential and commercial roofing, sidings, and decks. Winter is coming, so trust their 30 years plus of experience serving the Wilmington, Lebanon, Greater Dayton, and Cincinnati areas. Call Kelly at Kingdom Exteriors, 513-696-9593. So big third down play here. There's a pitch to Stuckey, who races to the left, still on his feet, spins, and I think that time he might be short of the first down.
There's your pitch sweep that you talked about earlier, Tony. That's a good call. I'm not sure we had any guards pull. It looked just primarily like a reach block by all of the linemen to the left, which is where the pitch went.
Well, we're going to have fourth and about a yard. So big call here by Coach Killen and the staff to try to figure out what to do on 4th and 1 with 42 seconds left first half. Sam's Meats, Jeff?
Sam's Meats is located here in Wilmington at 1209 West Locust Street. And fans, you should stop in and support a locally owned and operated business. Sam's Meats has fresh chicken, pork, and beef, along with deli cheese and lunch meats. Their meat deals are a great way to buy meat in bulk, helping to save you both time and money. The dining room is open for you to enjoy homemade hot bar meals and their made-to-order grill menu. Sam's Meats also offers catering, party trays, and a variety of homemade desserts, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6:30, and 8 to 6 on Saturdays. Check out Sam's Meats.
So big 4th and 1 for Wilmington. They leave the offense on the field, and they are going for it. Big play here. Big play. And McAvoy keeps it, and did he get it? I don't know. I think
Doesn't look
he
like
did. I think he did get it on a second and third effort. He was stopped initially, but I feel like the officials are going to give him a favorable spot and mark it as a first down.
Well, he made a mistake on the quarterback sneak. You do not stand up as you're going forward. You have to kind of hunker down and just lunge. So I think he's fortunate if they did give him the mark. That's
Second to measure.
it looks like he's short to me. But
I think he has it. Let's see. Here comes the Sticks, the chain gang.
I would say short.
Well, we got 2 shorts and 1 made it. But we'll see as the chains are going to be extended out. And does he have it?
Nope.
Nope. I don't think he does. He is. What are they doing? They got
They've
it.
got it.
How about that? So
Good eyes, Tony.
the
Good eyes.
minority rules tonight.
So you can see very well. It's just you can't hear, right?
Makes up for some of the other things that
Oh,
we debated several weeks
yeah.
ago.
We don't need to go there.
But it's a first down.
Boy, he was fortunate to
Yes,
pick it up
they
on
do.
that play.
It looked like he had it, but I was the only one. There's a pitch to Stuckey to the
Got
right.
a penalty.
There are flags
Gonna have
down.
a hold, I think.
Wilmington better be careful or the clock's running out on him with 26 seconds to go.
What is that? One timeout left, it looks like.
Yes, one timeout left for Wilmington, and obviously they will elect to kick a field goal if they find that they're going to be running close on time.
That's a good point. I forgot about Parker Henry.
So they picked up the first down, but then moved backwards on a penalty.
I think they have time for three
A couple
plays.
passes, yeah.
So the ball's on the 16-yard line as McAvoy gets under center. The ball is bobbled and mishandled. Who's got it? I think it is recovered by Little Miami. How about that? So again, this is the second
You
time.
sure, Tony?
Yes, this is the second time tonight that
No, it's a timeout Wilmington, but
Okay.
they still retain possession.
they did retain possession. All
Right.
right. So it is recovered by Wilmington. We take that back.
16 seconds.
There's 16 ticks left on the first half clock.
What would you use, about 4 seconds for a pass?
Well, the key thing here is that your quarterback doesn't throw it short and he doesn't get sacked. He has to throw it in the end zone with 16 seconds and no timeouts left. I think they have time for second and third down to throw it and still get the field goal as long as it's in the end zone.
Right.
So the snap was mishandled, and there was a scrum for the ball, and Wilmington does recover. And they call a timeout with 16 seconds left in the half. They want points on this drive. They were stymied the last time they got inside the shadows of the goalpost. McAvoy takes the shotgun snap, rolls to his left, fires into the end zone, and that is it caught?
It looks like
caught.
it is for a touchdown.
What a play. Isaiah Ringling outfights the Little Miami defenders and comes down with it. What a play there by Isaiah Ringling, the junior receiver.
16 seconds left, and they score a touchdown.
That's big because I
Yes.
believe Little Miami gets the ball coming out the second half.
Very big, huge. The ball was just thrown up in the air, and Isaiah Ringling just outfought the Little Miami defender, gets his feet down, and the touchdown stands, and Parker Henry with the extra point. So a big turn of events there.
Another flag.
Two
flags.
Last second touchdown. Cameron McAvoy to Isaiah Ringling in the left corner of the end zone.
Zebras are getting back together again because
There's
of whatever
flags
was going
down.
on.
There's a huddle. There's flags everywhere.
I almost can't take
No,
huddles
wait.
anymore.
There's three of them. There's three of them on the ground.
Jeff, how do you feel about a running clock?
Now listen. There's three. Just a minute. Let's see what they come up with.
Well, something obviously happened after the play, so this is
Probably offsetting, maybe. Are we going to get a call, or is he just going to stand there? He's pointing. We may get a call.
Well, we don't have a call.
He was pointing at one of the other zebras.
Dead ball.
Personal foul on.
That looks like delay a game.
No, it's a personal foul
Against Little Miami
against my Little Miami.
And against Wilmington. Offsetting penalties.
Well, I called that
You
right.
were right.
All right, there you
I
go.
thought this was the sign for.
I feel like we're missing out on something. Everybody in the press box is having a good time. They're laughing. There must be a party going on next door
Well,
that we're not seeing.
See if they got some food.
Maybe
I'm
they're
hungry.
laughing at the officials.
Did they bring in the hors d'oeuvres?
Colette Farms Pioneer Seed is a family-owned and operated seed dealership offering Pioneer brand products, seed treatments, and trusted agronomic advice for over 45 years. With the use of local data technology and digital tools, we help farmers maximize every acre's potential. Count on us to be there throughout the season working directly with you. Colette Farms, Pioneer Seed, farmers just like you. 8 seconds to go.
I'm still impressed with Beaver Creek, Rick.
They're up
serving
on Xenia.
shrimp.
They're
Are
yeah.
they up?
Oh, I thought you the game tonight. Beaver Creek is winning. Apparently, their second game of the season. They are ahead of Xenia at the halftime.
Well, good for them.
Parker Henry with a dribbling kickoff.
When you're hungry, you think shrimp and not games.
Yeah, they and that's nothing compared to the. They have the spread, Subway. They have Buffalo Wild Wings. They have all kinds of pastries and cookies and things that the women make and bring in. Now we didn't see all that.
Well, guess how much we ate of
Well,
that?
that was because you guys
Take
just
a
wanted
guess.
you wanted to talk about the incredible Beaver
None.
Creek marching band.
We didn't get to eat any of that stuff.
Like 400 members of it or whatever.
Right.
And the press box was great, too.
Oh,
Plenty of room
right.
for
We had a
that.
private box, private booth.
Get a good football team up there, Rick, and you'll have a first-class operation.
And the food was amazing.
Thanks, Jeff.
The band takes care of it.
Oh, it does.
There's a breakaway run as the first half ends, and
Time is done.
that's number 1, Riley Pringle. The half comes to an end, and a couple big scores by Wilmington at the end of the first half. They take the halftime lead into the locker room. It's Wilmington 24, Little Miami 14 at Alumni Field on the campus of Wilmington High School. The Wilmington Hurricane leading Little Miami at halftime. Jeff, I want to hear a little bit about John Roberts Excavating, and guess what? It's going to be time for our 1998 trivia. I have a feeling.
Well, I'll segue into that. John Roberts Excavating is located here in Wilmington, and it's a family-owned business going since 1998. They are specialized and experienced in general excavation, sewer, storm, grading, field tile, drainage, land clearing, ponds, demolition, and paving. Look up John Roberts Excavating on Facebook or call 937-382-1788. That's 937-382-1788 for a free estimate.
All right, we talked in the past about John Roberts Excavating starting their fine business in the year 1998. Where's Rick? He's leaving. 1998, what a great year that was. A lot of things happened that year. And it's time for our 1998 trivia as Sydney Phillips is on the edge of her seat waiting for this question. We have had questions about many different events from 1998, including sports, including politics, including movies. And for our traditional final Week 10 question, we're going to go back to the field of sports. There was one, and I mean one, dominating sports story of 1998 that dominated the headlines every single day during the summer. Enough, it was such a thing that they interrupted TV shows to interject about this event. They interrupted news shows. They interrupted other games to show you this progress and event. What was it, Sydney, Jeff Merklin? What was so special that the whole country was on the edge of their seats in 1998?
Well, I know it wasn't O.J. Juice Simpson
Nope.
on the run because that was a little earlier.
Yeah, he had already come and gone. Was already in and out of the Bronco back in 1994 is when that happened. How about 1998, the summer of 1998, into the early fall? Any other hint?
Well, I'm thinking it's baseball.
Okay, so you're down to the sport of baseball, which is correct. It has something to do with the sport of baseball. And remember, it was the number one sports story of the year.
I'm going to guess it was Barry Bonds' pursuit of the all-time home run record.
All right, you're half right. You are half right.
Single season home run record
Right.
then.
It's not Barry Bonds. pursuit of it, who later ended up breaking this record in the
Mark
year.
McGuire and Sammy Sosa.
That's correct. How about
That was the year of Sosa
how about
McGuire.
1998, the daily race between Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire for the home run crown. Roger Maris hit 61 for the Yankees in 1961 and looked like halfway through the baseball season of 1998, it looked like three guys had a chance to do it. Ken Griffey Jr., Sammy Sosa, and Mark McGuire. Griffey kind of fell off a little bit, but every day networks would chime in and say Sosa hit one, McGuire hit one, Sosa hit one, McGuire hit one. Finally, it got to September. McGuire hit his 62nd in front of the Maris family, who was present. They all congratulated Mark on his accomplishment. Sosa also ended up passing 61. The final stat was Mark McGuire was 70 and Sammy Sosa was 66. Now, few things about that we got to talk about. Bonds actually hit 72 or 73.
I think it was 73.
73 home runs in 2001. I think it was. Yeah, so 3 years later, Bonds with 73. Now, come on, folks. 70 home runs, 66 home runs. Matter of fact, a few people were hitting 50 and 60 homers in that era.
The one I remember was Brady Anderson going for the Orioles, going from 12, 13, 14 max home runs a year to I think he got 51.
Right. I think he hit 50 twice. Here's another one that did it, I think, at least once, for sure once, and I think he did it twice too, was a Punch and Judy hitter for the Reds named Brett Boone, who ended up in Seattle, and next thing you know, he's hitting 50 home runs and 150 RBIs. Now, the controversy and what to talk about is what's the common theme amongst all those guys? Jeff going from 30, Brady Anderson going from 12 homers to 50, Brett Boone going from 10 or 12 a year to 50, Sosa and McGuire in the 30s and 40s going to 66 and 70, Barry Bonds going from the 30s to 73. What's the common theme?
Well, to me, I'd like to have seen Babe Ruth have the, shall we say, extra vitamins that those guys all use.
Right. Those guys are all being accused of juicing up and using steroids to boost their numbers. What do you think about that, Jeff?
Well, first of all, I think it's a great point to make at a high school football game. Having coached in high school for the last 12 years and also junior high, the signs are up in the school and constant education programs to try to tell young people that's just not the way to go.
Nope.
There's still, unfortunately, it's not as pervasive as I think it was
back in those days.
Back in those days, but even in high school, you've got kids who are pretty on the wrong side of the law, so to speak, will sell those things that other adults give them to sell in the schools. And it's still an awful hard thing to police because, drug tests for high school are generally for marijuana or alcohol, things like that. Very, very expensive to test for the performance-enhancing drugs. So that's my mind. ESPN had a really good story on this summer about that 1998 summer with the race, and they did spend some time at the end talking about or implying the use of performance-enhancing drugs.
It took the whole luster off the whole thing. While it was happening, most of the country thought, wow, these guys are heroes and it's great, and what are they, they're saving baseball from the strike that had occurred in the 94 season that canceled the World Series. And here 4 years later, baseball was floundering in ratings, but all of a sudden you get this 60 and 70 home run race, which grabs the attention of the national media and the public, and you find out, Well, I thought all along it was suspicious because I'm thinking, how do these guys go from nowhere, basically, to be hitting 60 and 70 home runs? It's not natural. Their bodies look different. Anybody who saw Sammy Sosa or Mark McGwire 5 or 10 years before that, it's obvious it didn't take a scientist or a chemist to see that they look different. Barry Bonds the same way. Brett Boone we talked about, he was like a scrawny scarecrow figure.
Second baseman.
Yeah, scrawny scarecrow out of Wizard of Oz. And the next time you see him, he looked like Adonis that would look like he could break a bat in half.
Are you saying that they were doing something to
I'm just
enhance their
saying, well,
performance, Tony?
Yes, and I think that's pretty well known. Now let's look at this
All
now,
right,
later on. You've got McGwire, no Hall of Fame. Sosa, no Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens, who would have been eligible in that out of that era, no Hall of Fame. Alex Rodriguez is Hall of Fame eligible. Barry Bonds, the leading home run hitter of all time, not eligible. Well, they're all eligible.
Yeah, they're
but
not in the Hall of
correct.
Fame.
They're all eligible, but nobody's voting for him. Jeff, what's
The
your thought
baseball
on that?
writers, they'll exact their punishment in this fashion, just like with Pete Rose.
And they have punished those guys because none of them are in the Hall. I think one of the most comic things of all time is when all those jokers went into Congress. Do you remember that? And
Rafael Palmeiro is
that's another
the biggest one.
Rafi Palmeiro was there, as was Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. You know, Rafi Palmeiro looked at him and acted like he didn't know what they were talking about.
Oh, he shook his finger
He
at
shook
him.
his finger and said he never did that. Mark McGwire was subpoenaed by a congressional panel, and one of the first few questions they asked him was about steroids, and he said, I'm not here to talk about that. I want to focus on the future. I don't care about steroids. I want to forget that mess and divert that. And of course, you had the classic Sammy Sosa, who'd been in the United States for 20-some years.
Did not understand English.
I'd heard him interviewed hundreds of times. He was interviewed He was interviewed during the
No comprende.
Exactly, during the run for the home run title. You'd hear him every night on ESPN and all the other stations. Sounded very articulate, spoke the English language perfectly, but instead, in front of Congress, he somehow did not understand the questions about steroids and said, I don't understand, I don't speak English, and that's where it was left.
Well, on a little more serious note, as we're getting ready for the second half, warnings had been out there for years about this stuff.
Right.
One of the first ones I remember, since we're here for a football game, it came to my mind, was Lyle Alzado, who was a great defensive lineman for the Raiders and the Browns.
Died.
He died, and he came clean before he passed away. I think he was only like 43, 44 years old.
Yep.
And said, I did this stuff. I wanted to be great. I wanted to have the muscles so I could be better at my sport and so I could look good. Please don't do it. I remember him being on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and he had a bandana on because he didn't have any hair left. His arms were about as skinny as mine, and he just looked horrible. And, 10, 15 years later, 1998, you've got these guys who are just adored by everybody doing the same daggone thing, and
Yes.
it's just a shame.
So that's our 1998 trivia for the week. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, 70 and 66 home runs, but they couldn't talk to Congress.
Once again, we want to remind everybody, tomorrow night on campusnation.com, we have, I guess you could say, a barn burner here. We've got Waverly coming in, hosted by Clinton Massey, the Falcons. They're undefeated during the season. I don't know if Waverly has lost a game or not.
They have not.
Okay, so they're both undefeated teams. Waverly's probably got the best team they've had in years, I would imagine.
That's correct.
And I don't know, has Waverly actually, I'm sure they've been in the playoffs before, but have they gotten to a championship round?
No, they've never made the Final Four. In fact, this may be the first year that they've been in the playoffs. Let me check that out. But regardless, it's been a long time since they've had a team like this.
Right, with Clinton Massey, they've had 2 state championships, and They are looking for their third state championship. They had a bad taste left in their mouth last year because they got booted early. So they've gone back into the playoffs and gone a little further already than what they did last year.
Well, a lot of people said this is going to be Clinton Massey's best team in a while, maybe ever. And so far, they've proved it with, 12 blowout wins. And
yeah, Massey's going to have a lot more competition from these Wilmington Hurricane, from Western Brown, from New Richmond. There are a lot of teams, up-and-coming teams, with a lot of young, talented players. And so this league, the SBAAC, is going to be a great league for football in the next few years because most of these teams are very young.
including Wilmington, like you said.
That's right.
Who leads tonight here at Alumni Field in their game against Little Miami. The Panthers of Little Miami, Wilmington leading at halftime, 24-14. Let's reintroduce what we got going on here tonight. It is CampusNation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation. The sister radio station is 106.9 WZAA out of Jeffersonville. I am Tony Mancuso here at Alumni Field on the beautiful campus of Wilmington High School. Jeff Merklin is on the color analyst. Joe Holdren, the cameraman in the end zone.
Got a couple of his grandkids
Got
here
two
tonight.
grandchildren with him, Tyler and Katie.
They're both learning the ropes, so to speak, on the cameras.
They told us how to work our phones, so
That's good.
it's great for that
needed it.
generation. They don't remember that when I was their age, I learned to use a phone by putting a quarter in a booth. And you could only make one call, by the way.
Yeah.
So you better get the number right or you lost your quarter.
And not
quarter.
for, you couldn't make long distance for a quarter.
Nope.
You'd have to put in extra quarters.
I got a lot of stories to tell about that, but I will not tell them.
Are these the times that
I
you were
will
stuffing
n-
people in phone booths, Tony?
I will not tell my phone booth stories over these beautiful airwaves. The statute of limitations is passed anyway.
That's
but
good.
But that's okay.
Well, being an attorney, you would know that. So,
Right.
what is it, 20 years?
35.
Well, 35. Well, definitely it's passed.
By the way, Rick, I stand corrected. Waverly has made the playoffs 2019, 18, 17, and 16. Now, looking at their records, they did not have this kind of team that they have this year. They also had appearances in 2007, 2006, 2002, and the one I remembered, since I'm old and forgot these new ones, is 1989.
So
that'll
that's
be a
tomorrow
great
night.
game.
Yes, Waverly at Clinton Massey in the playoffs. What is it, regional finals?
Regional finals are the week after.
Oh, okay, so the
semis.
regional
These are the
semifinals.
Yeah.
Division 1 is regional finals tonight. That's the
Right.
only division.
So everybody else is a week behind?
Yes.
All right, there's the kickoff. Is Pick Central and Westerville, that's tonight. Westerville Central and Pick Central's tonight, right?
I believe Division 1's
Yeah.
on Friday.
I think it is. So there's the opening kickoff of half number 2 here at Alumni Field as both these teams wind down their season. Week 10. I'm Tony Mancuso, Jeff Merklin on the color, Sidney Phillips and Rick Phillips running all the electronics. Joe Holdren and his two grandchildren running the end zone camera. It's CampusNation.com. It's the YouTube channel of Campus Nation and 106.9 WZAA Jeffersonville Radio. So we start the second half. Little Miami on their own 36-yard line. There's a pass beautifully thrown, and goodbye, I bet. He has really got wheels. My goodness gracious, what a beautiful catch and run. That's Aiden Jones to Reese Stocksdale, and you could just see it was goodbye touchdown, wasn't it, Jeff?
Well,
What wheels?
there's not really much analysis on this. He threw the ball short, and the guy outran everybody. Stocksdale was a fantastic player, and
What speed the kid has. He's just in open field. It's like, goodbye. See you later, guys. That's what he looked like.
ran away from the Wilmington defenders.
And
like
we
they weren't
remember
there.
earlier in the game he had a breakaway like that was called back. But you could just see the field opening up, and that kid with his speed is just adios. Goodbye. The point after kick is good by the Lucas Work, the Little Miami kicker. So we're now 24-21. The Bengals, we talked a lot about them all year because we're fans and we're micro fans and we live and die with them. If you saw what just occurred on the campusnation.com TV cameras, that is what everybody envisioned by drafting John Ross, number 1, 9th pick in the draft out of the University of Washington. Just get him the ball, and he has 4.2 speed, and he's going to stretch the field and outrun everyone. So, Jeff, in the 4 years we've seen John Ross, how many times have we seen him do that? I remember
Once up
right?
at Seattle, if I remember right.
No, the one at home against San Francisco.
Oh, the short pass.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
right.
the only one I remember that he took to the house and outran everyone like Reese Stocksdale did.
Well,
So,
Tony, if I could, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to get this in about Reese. He's one of these players that the recruiting analysts, particularly on First Star Recruiting, says that the COVID really hurt his recruiting this year. He's fast, and I see he's received offers from like Valparaiso, and Dayton wants him.
great.
Hopefully he'll find someplace bigger because he deserves to be paid to play at the college level.
Well, I tell you what, Dayton is not a bad place to end up playing college football.
Well, that's all right. They give scholarships now.
Why
That's
not?
right. That's right.
Well, they do, yeah.
So if he ends up there, it's a great place because he's got wheels. There's no question he's got speed
goodness.
to play the game, like breathtaking speed.
Isn't that where you got your art appreciation degree, Tony?
Yes,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
I was a bachelor
A Bachelor
of Arts.
of Arts.
Not too much of the bachelor life back in those days. So it's 11:33 to go after the long touchdown for Little Miami as Wilmington takes over. And
Peyton Hibbard's back at quarterback, Tony, and I'm wondering if he's just alternating quarters with them now. Maybe that's what the reason was for Cameron coming in the second quarter.
makes sense. So it's a 2nd and 6 for Wilmington, leading now 24-21 over Little Miami. And we've had a great game here, and it looks like it's going to shape up to finish great. There's Hibbert in the shotgun and a handoff to Thad Stuckey, number 26, and Thad gets very close to the first down. I don't think he has it.
Tony, didn't you do some announcing in your early life at UD, ladies, the Lady Flyers basketball?
Yes, and let me tell you something about that. That was the 1980 University of Dayton Lady Flyers, who were the national champions of Division II. And don't let that fool you, because they played a Division I schedule every game, and they were playing Big Ten teams, and that team went like 31-2, I think. They lost at Northwestern and they lost at UC, but they were playing, Rick, they were playing a Division I schedule, beating teams like Michigan, Purdue, Ohio State by 20, 30, 40 points.
Well, that was good practice for winning a national championship.
And
Tony.
they got to the tournament in the Division II and just rolled through there. I think their closest game was the finals, and they won that by 30. There's a pass downfield, and that's got to be interference, but it is not. There's no flag on that. Carter Huffman was basically tackled,
That's
Jeff,
what it looked like.
but no flag right in front of the official.
Looks like there's a flag down here in front of us, though.
Yeah, the flag deep. Now, don't tell me this official way down here is going to call it when the one in the back judge was right in front of him. Let's see what we got.
Face mask?
We just don't-
can't tell.
We just don't. It's a hold
Holding against who?
Little Miami.
on Little Miami, so a hold, but that's not the pass interference play. That ball thrown down the field by Hibbert to Carter Huffman. Carter looked like he was pulled down before the ball got to him. But
I really couldn't tell whether they got tangled in their own feet or what exactly happened.
well, no flag on that, but there was another one down here on our side of the field. So either way, it counts as a penalty first down for Wilmington, and the drive continues. Hibbert back to pass, fires, and it is
Dropped.
incomplete. Carter Huffman, the intended receiver. I don't know if this is by design or if it's by friendship or or by a custom or what it's used. It looks like Carter Huffman is always more active with Hibbert as the QB than he is McAvoy, Jeff. Don't you think?
From what we've seen, I think it maybe is a little too small of a sample size with Cameron McAvoy, but I think you make a good point.
There's a handoff to Stuckey, and he races to about the 40-yard line for a first down. It'd be interesting to know if those guys are good buds and they've grown up together, played together, because they really do have a beautiful connection.
Oh, we got a flag.
Yeah, here comes another little Miami flag. I think we're going to have some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct. But I really like
I think it's against Little Miami.
Yeah, I really like the connection between Peyton Hibbert and Carter Huffman.
They seem to be on the same page
Yes,
every game.
They really are.
That time, somebody must have said something that the referee, I think it was the linesman on this side, didn't like. Not sure what happened, but he sure went for the flag quickly.
He was quick with the hanky.
Well, so getting a little chippy down on the field.
15 yards.
He also threw it about 20 feet in the air, so he was a little wound up.
Yeah,
I guess that's nice as long as he didn't throw it at
No,
once.
I just that has always bothered me. Those guys firing those things like they're darts. They're dangerous, really. Matter of fact, if you remember a Triplet, who might be one of the worst officials in the history of football, fired one at Zeus Brown Sr., Orlando Brown, basically blinded him.
Did.
Yes, and it ended up causing a lot of health issues for Orlando, and he ended up passing away. And a lot of people have written that it stems back to that stupid throw by Triplet of a penalty right in his face mask. Now, his son is a fantastic lineman for the Ravens, right tackle out of Oklahoma. But his dad, Orlando Brown, Zeus Sr., was a victim of catching a flag in the face.
He was a good player, too.
Yes,
and I remember I was watching that game at the time. Did you happen to see that? I mean, Triplet wound up, threw it right at him, and it went through his the upper part of his face mask. And when they showed the replay, it looked horrible.
Well, those things are dangerous. They don't look like they're dangerous, but they are.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's a handoff to Thad Stuckey on a second down carry, gets about 3.
I think in the pros, I don't know about college, but they actually pack, or in those days anyway, they packed some kind of
so they fly.
weight in there, and it was just like you say, a projectile.
Remember that game Jarts that's
Yes.
been banned?
Because of the sharp
Exactly.
tip,
It's like
dart.
almost like horseshoes, but with spears, basically.
That's right.
That you fire into a circle.
Don't you miss the good old days?
Well, we had them back in our day, but you can't find them anywhere now.
The scary part would be people drink and play that
drinking.
game.
It was a drinking game, folks, where if you remember it, as their pass is caught out there by, looks like Isaiah Wriggling on the reception. It was a game of where it's jarts, which was a dart, but only it was like a bigger, huge dart.
But now what game was that replaced by? Cornhole.
That's exactly right. That's a good point. It says a lot about the eras, folks. If you remember jarts, it was a pointed spear thing that took out a whole group of families and kids and everywhere by firing those things at people. And instead it was replaced, as aptly noted by our boss Rick Phillips, by the game cornhole. So if you know cornhole of the 2010s and 20s, go back to the 70s and 80s and just remember that was jarts in those days.
Good call.
So it brings up a 4th down for Wilmington, and look who's trotting out. It's Parker Henry, and it's going to be a long field goal.
This will be
attempt.
interesting.
I'd like to see him put this through. I don't know if he's got one
He's
of any
got the
distance
range.
this
He's
year.
got the range.
Yes,
Well,
he
let's
does.
see. So they're going to put it down at about the 26. So it's going to be a 36-yard field goal, which is a long way for a high school kid.
Well, he can pound it through, but he hasn't been accurate
Let's
from
see.
out there this year.
The snap is down, the kick is up, and it is absolutely
To the left.
left to the left. It
Right.
had plenty of leg,
Yeah,
but it goes to
he
the
had the-
left and no good. He had a lot of power, a lot of leg in it, but not through the upright. Jeff, good time to talk about Shelley McCune Realtors.
Coldwell Banker shines like no other. Only one real estate company has guided people home for over 114 years. Call Shelley McCune with Coldwell Banker West Shell, your neighbor, your friend, your hometown realtor, bringing you exceptional service, honesty, and integrity throughout the entire home buying and selling process.
So Little Miami takes over after the missed field goal on the 20-yard line, trailing 24-21, Wilmington in the lead. There's another throw down the field, and that ball is broken up, incomplete, and there's a flag. So a long pass by Aiden Jones, intended for Ty Williams, is broken up, but there's laundry on the field, and I think we're going to have an interference. In the press box, the Little Miami people do not like.
It's on Wilmington, though, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not sure who because we don't know. And here's another huddle.
Conference.
There's more conferences tonight than there are in the UN, I think.
Well,
Seriously, what's that more conferences tonight? This game or the United Nations?
for the week, it's got to be this game.
Let's see where we're at here.
Dang near close to the year. I'm not a person that really, in my
Well,
girls'
let's see.
basketball
What do we got?
games.
What do we got? Because this official with the white hat is. So he is going to call pass interference on Wilmington. His way of calling these penalties and his mannerisms
Also, unsportsmanlike
unsportsmanlike.
conduct.
They tacked
afterward.
that on top
so
of
you
it.
get that too.
So they're at the 50-yard line now
So that's a long, long gain by Little Miami.
because they were right in the neighborhood of the 25.
You have a
yard
pass
line.
interference and an unsportsmanlike conduct.
30 yards.
So it's a 30-yard penalty gain from the 20 to the midfield. And there's a handoff to number 1, Riley Pringle, still on his feet, still barreling ahead. There's the play that Jeff Merklin has been down on all year, as there's a gang tackle. Explain that, Jeff. What's been your gripe about what we just saw?
Injury potential. It used to be that when the runner's forward progress was stopped or he was even close, especially in high school, plays whistled down. And then, of course, you had the Bush push and the evolution of the rule. And now it's like, Princeton and Rutgers in 1860
Yeah,
doing rugby.
It is interesting is that we had a little bit of controversy. What he called the Bush push was Reggie Bush being pushed into the end zone against Notre Dame in that classic game. But now you can seem like you can push and pull all night long, and the officials are never going to blow it dead. There's a long pass downfield, and it's broken up. And guess what? It doesn't. And the fans are going crazy, including Mrs. Killen, as it is incomplete, but a flag down. And I think we're going to have pass interference again on Wilmington.
Mrs. Killen is not happy.
No. And the press box up here has got mixed emotions because you got half the Little Miami crew up here and half the Wilmington crew. But the ball was thrown downfield and another flag came down. And
I don't know what they expect defensive backs
Well,
to do at the high
yeah.
school level.
Now, was that her son that was defending? Because she does have a son that's out there playing
I
as well.
think it was number 2, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Tanner Killen? Yes,
right.
sir. Good
Yeah.
call.
I can remember.
I think it might have been Isaiah Wriggling on the
It's possible.
which I think it was Isaiah.
Several years ago at a Clinton Massey Wilmington game, we were at Clinton Massey, and we were in the stands with her. We weren't able to get into the press box, so this was 4 or 5 years ago, and she lost her voice from screaming so
Well,
much.
and she found it because we can hear her.
Great fan.
She is passionate. Let's give her that.
That's
I'll
right.
tell you what, it'd be nice to have a wife that supports you.
The volume's high too. So there's a handoff to Pringle, and this time he
Now
stacked up,
another
and guess
flag.
what? There's more flags. There are flags, Jeff, tonight on almost every play. Wilmington came out of the scrum with the ball, but I don't think we're going to have a fumble call. But there's more laundry on the ground, and there's more huddles, and the officials are marking off another penalty on Wilmington. So Wilmington,
What's the call on that?
well, let's see. This drive started on
Face mask, it looks like.
this drive started on the 20, and it's a face mask against Wilmington. And Little Miami now has the ball on the 15-yard line of Wilmington, and I'm not sure they've had a play.
No, it's just basically been penalties.
Have they had a play that actually was a pure play that went down
I
the
don't
field?
think they've had a play
I don't
that
think
gained
they
a
have.
yard.
This has been a drive of penalties.
The entire drive was yellow flags, and now Little Miami is down at about the 16-yard line with a 1st and 10 from there. All on penalties. There's a pass rolling out. It's caught by Stocksdale, and I'll tell you what,
Another flag.
absolutely a touchdown, and there are more flags down. So poor Stocksdale now is going to have his second touchdown probably called back.
Illegal block. They're thinking illegal block.
Push in the back. That's a famous call.
Well, again, a beautiful run by Reese Stocksdale, the senior running back, receiver, do all everything on offense for Little Miami.
He had to have called
Was
a
that a give back?
he had to have called a illegal screen or something because he called it pass interference.
Well, back goes Little Miami, excuse me. So what we have is a touchdown taken off the board. That's the second touchdown that Little Miami has scored, specifically Reese Stocksdale, that was called off by the officiating.
All right, well,
We don't hear.
still, each play has
Can we
been a
hear
penalty.
Mrs. Jones on the other side? We don't hear her. If there is Mrs. Jones, there's a pass caught, and he's still on his feet is number 3. That's Trey Williams on the receiving end of the catch from Aiden Jones. So they pick up some of the penalty yardage back, Jeff. So it's gotten a little sloppy on both sides, but are the officials calling it too tight, Jeff?
Well, those pass interference calls have set the tone for this half, and I can't blame the kids for being a little frustrated on both sides. I've lost track of the down. Is that a second down over there?
Second.
It's a second down.
6.
So they're back kind of where they started as Aiden Jones takes the shotgun snap. Back to pass, looking, rolling out and firing into the end zone, and that ball is broken up. It's Carter Huffman back there defending on Reese Stocksdale. Incomplete. And we're at a 3rd down.
I think
Yeah.
that's the first play without a penalty.
Well,
Second, they had
What
the
are we-
pass completion.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
it brings up the age-old question. Are we here to watch the kids play football or the officials to throw flags? Which is it?
Well, it's got to be a little bit of both
Well,
tonight.
they've definitely gotten tighter on their calls in the second half.
Too
I
many,
don't know whether it's
too
because
many.
maybe they're detecting some chippiness or there's something going on in the
But
field.
there's
that
a
we're
flag
unaware
on almost every play, folks. And the Wilmington fans are not happy about it. They don't feel like it's been called fairly. There's
of. Nice pass.
Jones's
throw.
pass complete for a touchdown. Aiden Jones to Trey Williams, and Wilmington gives up the lead on a long 80-yard drive, of which most of them were on penalties. So Little Miami takes the lead for the first time tonight. It's 27-24 pending the extra point. And I'll tell you what, if you're the Wilmington coaching staff and the players and the fans, you got to be frustrated at that drive because it was mostly all on penalties.
But capped with a beautiful play. That play was really nice.
Ball was right on the money on a post. Very nicely done.
And the point after kick by Swerk
28-24.
is good. So Little Miami gets out to 28-24 over Wilmington, and a good time with a break in the action. Jeff, for you to tell us all about McCune Painting and Renovation.
McCune Painting and Renovation, LLC, is located here in Wilmington. They're your trusted contractor with over 25 years of experience, offering interior and exterior custom painting and home renovations. Call Nevin today at 937-728-5585. That's 937-728-5585 for a free quote.
Someone just sent me a picture of a girl from our high school with, look who it is, Jeff. Who is that?
I can't tell. Who
It's
is that?
Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench.
How about that? I got to find my picture of myself with Johnny Bench and send it back. But that's amazing. Tell us, Jeff, about Ettinger Farms.
After this play.
There's the kickoff down the field, picked up by Carter Huffman, it looks like, and he is directing traffic to about the 35-yard line.
Ettinger Farms is family-owned and operated. Ettinger Farms focuses on providing its customers with the highest quality hay and straw. The experts on their team can provide you with the perfect product for any operation and offer both delivery and unloading services. Ettinger Farms also sells both farm-fresh beef and pork to fill your freezer. Find Ettinger Farms on Facebook or visit their website at ettingerfarms.com.
So Wilmington finds themselves behind for the first time, trailing Little Miami 28-24 with 5:03 to go. And the fans are still upset about the last drive, and maybe rightfully so. There's a handoff into the line. Number 26, Thad Stuckey with the carry, Jeff.
You may see the return to the ground game to try to get things calmed down.
Yeah, they got to
again.
slow down the momentum because that entire drive kind of changed the focus of this game. Little Miami with the lead. .433 left, third quarter. Hibbert takes the shotgun snap, and it's complete to Isaiah Wriggling for a short gain. It's going to bring up a big third down. So it's got 3rd and 3 now for Wilmington as the clock runs at 4:10 in the third quarter. Little Miami leading Wilmington 28-24. Third and 2. Big call here for Wilmington. Hibbert in the shotgun snap. It's a handoff to who else? Number 26, Thad Stuckey. It's not Dane Mccoy. It's Thad Stuckey. And, of course, Thad barrels ahead for the first down. Big call, big play, big conversion. And it is a first down for Wilmington.
Well, in addition to settling the game down a little bit, they've had success on the running plays, the power running out of the eye, and looks like they're going to come out in the spread this time. So we'll see what happens.
45-yard line of Little Miami. Hibbert down the field, fires, and it is caught in stride by number 81. That's Carter Huffman. A beautiful throw by Peyton Hibbert to Carter Huffman for a touchdown, and just like that, Wilmington answers. The combo of Hibbert to Huffman has really been fun to watch, Jeff.
Beautiful throw again, and I think the Little Miami defensive back was probably a little concerned with being called with interference because he was playing off of him a little bit and got beat deep. Ball was right on the money.
So the point after by Parker Henry as Wilmington gets the lead back. The kick is good, and it is now 31 Wilmington, 28 Little Miami. Time to talk about Ettinger Farms.
Family owned and operated, Ettinger Farms focuses on providing its customers with the highest quality hay and straw. The experts on their team can provide you with the perfect product for any operation and offer both delivery and unloading services. Ettinger Farms also sells both farm fresh beef and pork to fill your freezer. Find Ettinger Farms on Facebook or visit their website at ettingerfarms.com.
So how about that drive, Jeff? Wilmington answering the long penalty-stricken drive by a touchdown of their own.
Very good composure shown by the kids that time for Wilmington. Ground out a couple first downs on the run and then hit the big pass. Very nice drive. A couple playoff scores, Tony, by the way.
Give it to us.
We talked about DeSales and Wilmington, unfortunately not getting to play. DeSales in the regional finals tonight, regional semis, are leading. They're leading Jonathan Alder, who's undefeated and has a whale of a team this year, 31-6. So DeSales has things rolling. You got New Bremen, 16 over Fort Loramie, 8, and Marion Local, 42-8 over Riverside. Those are the MAC teams, and we know how good that conference is.
Yes, it's an amazing conference. Absolutely amazing.
Unfortunately, my school, West Jefferson, has to play Coldwater tomorrow night.
Yeah, how's that look?
They've won a few games in playoffs, haven't they?
Yeah, just a few.
Is there not going to be any upset there?
I'm not going to pick against my Rough Riders, but let's just say we'll see how we'll show up and play.
Well, you never know, right?
Hartley's ahead of Thornville Sheridan 10-6 in the fourth quarter. That's a defensive struggle. And in the game I mentioned in the pregame, the East Cincinnati Conference, of which Little Miami's a member, Winton Woods undefeated 17, and Kingsmill Kings undefeated 10. So a lot of good playoff games tonight.
Jones back to pass, rolling out, looking, and firing downfield, and that is a nice comeback catch by Braden Bischoff. Beautiful throw by Jones.
Gonna give it to him.
Beautiful catch on the other end. How about that?
Flushed out of the pocket, rolled to his right, gathered himself instead of throwing off the run, which if you have a little bit of time, that's the thing to do. And again, you get him outside the pocket, give him the time out there, and he just throws bullets. That was a very nice catch on the other end because that ball was low and hard.
So what are we talking about now?
So it's a second and short.
Well, there's a discussion, Tony.
What is the discussion? Did he catch the ball or not? I think he did catch it, but and they are giving it to him.
But they're not the first down.
Well, just short.
Okay.
And I think that's correct. I didn't see a first down there. I'm right there on the yard line, but that play.
There goes Stocksdale,
Goodbye.
and I'll see you later again, folks. What wheels that kid has. Reese Stocksdale. What a game we have here. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That was Reese Stocksdale with another long breakaway run.
And that was about the third time that they've run that play.
I'll tell you, the speed that kid shows is just amazing, Jeff.
I mean, Rick's right. That's a play where you have the double fake out of the you have the slot back coming in front of the quarterback. You fake to him, then you fake the second option to the fullback, and then you pop and hit a short post to Reese, and he gets a little of seam,
with
and
his
he's
speed,
gone.
he's gone.
Well, the point after by Swerk as the game turns again. The point after
Good.
is good. So we've had back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And now Little Miami gets the lead back, Jeff. And what we've had here in Week 10 is an outstanding game, haven't we?
Wonderful game. I really wish we had somebody doing the stats for us. I just didn't get it started tonight, but I would imagine Stocksdale is probably getting close to 200 yards receiving.
I would say
His
at least.
breakaway running speed is just breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. What about Edinger Farms, Jeffrey?
Edinger Farms is family owned and operated, and it focuses on providing its customers with the highest quality hay and straw. The experts on the Edinger Farms team can provide you, the farmer, with the perfect product for any operation, and Edinger Farms offers both delivery and unloading services. Edinger Farms also sells both farm fresh beef and pork to fill your freezer. Find Edinger Farms on Facebook or visit their website at edingerfarms.com.
What a game we've had tonight. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Very enjoyable
Yes,
game.
it has been a lot of fun. Very well played by these kids, giving their all on their final game of the 2020 season. There's Brett Brooks picking it up, and boy, I don't want to tackle him.
Oh, I would not want to
I'll
have
tell
to take
you,
him down.
when he picks up those balls that are rolling around on the ground, he is really a load.
Tony, the game playoff game you referenced earlier, Pickerington Central 38, Westerville Central 7 in the fourth quarter.
Well, Pickerington Central is a powerhouse, aren't they?
Well, 2 state titles, I believe, in the last 3 or 4 years, and they're the team to beat this year too.
So now it's Wilmington's turn to score and to try to score to answer, as there's Hibbert's pass intended for Tanner Killen falls incomplete. 2nd and 10. The press box up here for Little Miami, they're very animated, aren't they, Jeff?
They're getting into it, and well, it's a good game, fun game. Good to hear the coaches excited too.
There is Stuckey again, breaking out to the left, and a fine run to the 40-yard line.
I think the last team with the ball will be the winner of the game.
Yes, this is Browns Bengals from last week.
Well, I'll tell you, Little Miami being 2-7 shows just how good that Eastern Cincinnati Conference is. That's a nice football team out there with a lot of skilled players.
And we talked about the size of their team versus Wilmington, and a few of them having to play both. So you wonder if maybe Wilmington's a little tired this second half.
Well, there's a pass incomplete. Being down, you got to keep answering, because looks like Little Miami,
They're not going to take
they're
their
not
foot off
stopping.
the pedal.
I'll tell you, anytime Reese Stocksdale gets the ball in the open field, it's
Hi-ho silver.
yeah, goodbye.
Cloud of
It's
dust.
like he waves goodbye to everybody. Remember the movie Seabiscuit, when Seabiscuit got close to his opponent, War Admiral, and the jockey, what was it? Not Cooper was the, what was the name of the jockey? It was Toby Maguire was the jockey in the movie, but somebody replaced him. But anyway, remember he would say, "See ya."
Now the Little Miami player slipped.
Carter Huffman with a reception, and it's inside the 20. This game is back and forth, back and forth. What fun. If you like offense, folks, or penalties, you love this game. You love it.
Yeah, the defender, he slipped and wasn't able to recover very well. So Huffman was right there and picked up some extra yardage once he caught it.
Huffman's very good fun to watch
Yeah,
on
he
offense
is.
too. Not the speed of
But he's just a classic receiver.
right.
Like I said, we've referenced an NFL player that reminds us of him, and it's Adam Thielen of the Minnesota Vikings. It's very, very similar. There's a handoff into the line who's running so hard tonight in his final game of the year. Thad Stuckey. Like I say, we don't have stats. I bet you Thad's approaching 100 easy.
I'm thinking closer to 150.
Yes, he's got a lot of yards on the ground. It's been like the back and forth.
Has Kendall France even
No,
had...
we haven't seen him all night.
No, he normally
Not
would
all
have been
night.
in here.
I haven't seen him on defense.
I haven't seen him on the
He's
sidelines.
not on the sideline, so not
Hope he's
sure what
okay.
happened, but he's not out there tonight.
Hope he's okay.
So Hibbert to Stuckey, and he's going for a touchdown also. So it's back and forth here at Alumni Field. What a ball game we have as Thad Stuckey now answers the Little Miami touchdown with a touchdown of his own. And Wilmington is back in the lead, Jeffrey.
Beautiful game to finish. I love offense.
Yeah, if you love offense, you love it tonight because there are points and points back and forth. Both teams just running up and down the field. So another touchdown for Wilmington by Thad Stuckey. And the point after by Parker Henry is good. So it's Wilmington 38, Little Miami 35, and now it's the Panthers' turn, Jeff.
Well, they'll see if they can get back like a ping pong ball going back and forth tonight.
Ettinger Farms, family owned and operated. Ettinger Farms focuses on providing its customers with the highest quality hay and straw. The experts on their team can provide you with the perfect product for any operation and offer both delivery and unloading services. Ettinger Farms also sells both farm fresh beef and pork to fill your freezer. Find them on Facebook or visit their website at ettingerfarms.com.
Tony, we've just been told by a Little Miami staff member that Stuckey has 196.
Yes. Thank you for that.
I'd like to see how many yards receiving.
Yeah,
Reese
thank
has.
you for that stat because we don't have the stats here, but 196 rushing yards. What a tremendous night. And he's being matched by Reese Stocksdale of Little Miami, who is just absolutely fantastic on his side of the offense. So we've got a shootout here.
Stocksdale, 205 yards
Yeah,
receiving.
it's
Nice.
amazing.
He's had what, two
And he's had two called back.
Yeah.
He's had two called back. The one was 80 yards. I think the one called back was 80 yards. And we still got a quarter to go. So according to the Little Miami stat people, Reese Stocksdale with plus 200 receiving, and we've got 33 seconds left in the third quarter. And like I say, one called back. That was a long one.
I've not seen a receiver that exciting in high school football. I know Central Ohio or Southwestern Ohio for a long time. I know that there's some talented athletes up around Cleveland and Central Ohio, but like I said, the recruiting profiles that I've seen indicate that he just hasn't really had the looks this year because of the COVID and how things have come about. I still find that hard to believe. He started for 4 years, and I think that kid can play just about anywhere if he gets a good look.
Well, he can run like a deer. There's a long pass to him, and he comes down with it. My goodness, what a gorgeous catch by Reese Stocksdale, who's putting on a show for the Little Miami. Now, add to the passing yards, there's 35 more.
That's what, 240. And earlier this season, I saw something on the internet earlier today. I forgot to mention that he set the school record already for touchdown catches in a career. So he's kind of going out in a big and great way.
So Little Miami looks like they're going to let the clock run out for the quarter.
Need to catch your breath.
Boy, I don't know if, I'll tell you what, the way this game's going, I'd be running plays constantly. So we're going to go to the fourth quarter in a real shootout here. It is Wilmington 38, Little Miami 35 as we head to quarter number 4 here at Alumni Field, campusnation.com. the YouTube channel of Campus Nation. I'm Tony Mancuso with Jeff Merklin on the color, Rick and Sidney Phillips on the electricity, Joe Holdren in the end zone camera with his grandchildren Tyler and Katie. Tell us about Brown Funeral Home, Jeff.
Brown Funeral Home in Wilmington is proud to support the student athletes of Clinton and surrounding counties. The hard work, dedication, and passion shown by these athletes are the same principles we adhere to at our funeral home. The team of Kevin Brown and Billy Earhart are always here to assist your family in your time of need. From pre-planning to at need, we offer a wide range of services that are economically friendly to all. To contact Brown Funeral Home, call 937-382-2247. That's 937-382-2247. You can also find Brown Funeral Home online at earhart-brown.com or on Facebook at Brown Funeral Home.
So the fast break continues as Little Miami now takes over into the quarter number 4, keeping their drive alive. There's a handoff to Pringle, who dances his way up the middle to about the 38-yard line.
Good first down gain. Pringle is their leading rusher. Nice move. Rick, is my memory bad, or have these two schools played recently in the last few years?
Not recently, as far as I know, but it used to be that Wilmington would always open with Little Miami.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Thank you.
Yeah.
And this year they close with them, and I'll tell you, if the ADs of these schools are watching, they're going to want to play each other every year with the entertainment we've had tonight.
Give each AD an A+ for scheduling this game.
There's a ball deep downfield, and that ball is caught also, but out of bounds. What a nice effort over there by Ty Williams, but it's out of bounds. Incomplete. Brings up third down. Wilmington leading 38-35 over Little Miami. Just into the fourth quarter here at Alumni Field in a really entertaining game. What a game.
Well, this will be 2 down territory, so they've got 5 yards to pick up here with 2 downs.
39-yard line of Wilmington. Little Miami, big 3rd and 5. Jones takes the shotgun snap and fires downfield, and there is Williams with the catch. What a beautiful catch that was by Ty Williams, who just timed his jump perfectly. Cameron McAvoy, the quarterback, down there on the coverage, but Ty Williams.
I think he has him by a few inches.
Yes,
too.
and what
6'6" for that receiver.
And he just, to talk about just timing a leap perfectly and coming down with a ball. Perfect throw by Aiden Jones, even better catch by Ty Williams. And now here comes Little Miami answering on their side, threatening to get the lead back as the ball's on this 5-yard line, 1st and goal. And there goes number 1, Riley Pringle, for a touchdown. And it's another answer. This time, Little Miami's turn to answer. And they take the lead back, folks, in a game of the ages here tonight at Alumni Field. What a way to close out our 2020 regular season here on CampusNation.com. What a game. The point after by Swerk. Snap is mishandled, but I think he got it down and through. Yes,
no,
it's good. So the snap was somewhat mishandled, but beautifully timed by Lucas Swerk, who let the ball get placed and drills the extra point. And we have Little Miami 42, Wilmington 38. Jeff, Kingdom Exteriors, tell us.
Tony, it's that time of year, and the projects you've been putting off still need to be finished. Is a new roof one of those projects? One simple call could get that out of the way. Kingdom Exteriors specializes in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and decks. Winter's coming. In fact, it feels a little bit like it's here tonight. Trust Kingdom Exteriors, 30 years plus of experience, serving the Wilmington, Lebanon, Greater Dayton, and Cincinnati areas. Call Kelly at Kingdom Exteriors at 513-696 9593. That's 513-696-9593.
So now guess whose turn it is? Wilmington. I know the audience of thecampusnation.com is enjoying this, and guess what? You get to watch it on podcast afterwards as many times replay as you want. It'll be up on the website, campusnation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation. And I'll tell you what, this is one to watch over and over because we have had some fireworks this evening. For a while there, it was an officiating game, but since then, it's just been one spark after another. And there goes Carter Huffman. His turn, Jeff.
Out to the 41.
Out to the
Great
41.
Field
It's
position.
just one athlete after another trying to top each other.
I didn't think I'd see any better overall athletes this year than Carter Huffman, but him and Stocksdale tonight are putting on a show.
The speed of Mr. Stocksdale is just breathtaking to watch. I'd get a clock on him in the 40. He is just amazing. His wheels are just electric.
I'm thinking 4.5 maybe.
Yes, in that range. Like I said, we said earlier, that's what number 11, John Ross, is supposed to look like.
I'd take Stocksdale over John Ross right now.
Well, as a football player, sure. There's Hibbert's pass is complete. Nice tackle out there by number 12, Lucas Swerk, but the completion made to number 2, Tanner Killen. So now it's time for Wilmington to answer, Jeffrey, as Little Miami leads 42-38 with 10:22 to go in a simply fantastic offensive show tonight here at Alumni Field.
I really like Peyton Hibbert getting another shot back at the quarterback after a couple weeks ago. He's doing really well.
And there is another first down run by guess who, Jeff?
Well,
Take a guess.
Mr. Stuckey's probably he's well
Over
over 200
200.
now.
Stocksdale's over 200 receiving, we're told.
He's at
Stuckey over 200
240.
rushing,
240,
we're
yeah.
told. Those are unofficial, but boy, I'm sure they're right.
Well, and Huffman's probably got over 100 receiving
Oh,
himself.
easy, yes, easy. There's a handoff, and there goes Stuckey again, cutting back inside to about the 41 of Little Miami. I love hearing Mrs. Killen.
She's the cheerleader, consummate cheerleader.
She's fun.
She's got that edge you like your fans to have. Doesn't get out of line with the words, just that edge.
I could pick that voice out of 1,000 voices,
That's
too.
right.
It's very unique. Hibbert's pass is caught by Wriggling, who breaks inside the 35 to about the 34, and the offensive show continues. Another first down, this time for Wilmington.
They've run that play a couple times tonight where the wideout runs the defenders down the field, and Isaiah Ringling just sets up right there about 6-7 yards past the line of scrimmage.
I think
tough to defend.
I think there's something to be said about who has the ball last. Might be the one holding the winning trophy tonight. There goes Stat Stuckey again, and more yardage added on to his performance tonight, and he's down at the 15.
Add 19 more,
What a
Tony.
game. This is like the Stocksdale versus Stuckey show. And great quarterback play, too, by Peyton Hibbard of Wilmington and Aiden Jones of Little Miami, spreading the ball around like they have. Carter Huffman, a great night. What fun. What a way to end our regular season, which we'll talk about at game end. 8:23 and counting here at Alumni Field. Another handoff to Stuckey, and he breaks outside, and he gets to about the 10. So more positive yards, Jeffrey.
And a nice tackle by Busher again. He's been pretty much everywhere tonight. We're just seeing some really good players tonight.
And you love it that they're putting it all on the line. This is their last game of the 2020 season. It's been so up and down and so difficult on these kids and really everybody, the fans, the teachers, the parents, the administrators. And to put on a show like this to end the season is really refreshing, and it's great to see, isn't it?
Can't say it any better than that.
So here's Hibbert in the shotgun on 2nd and 6. Wilmington can get a first down, and there's a ball thrown and tipped, and is it picked? No. Ball's incomplete. What an effort. Off the fingertips of Wriggling.
That young man sold out for that ball. What? Can you catch his number?
Is it Swerk? Can't catch the number. 18? Is it 18? Can't tell.
Looks like 18.
18
if it is, it's
Cayman Pryor. 16. So it's Aiden Jones on
it's
that
their
play.
quarterback making a great
Yeah,
play.
no wonder. There's a shotgun snap over Hibbert's head, who falls on it way back at the 26. So that's a drive killer there. I'm sure this is 4-down territory, even though it's a long way to go and it's a long 4th down. I can't imagine it's going to be a field goal try from this distance. Doesn't help you, so you got to go.
Time. I think the problem is he just hasn't been straight from longer distances this year, and
No, it's not field goal time. Yeah, there's 6:46 to go, and there's a timeout called by Wilmington. Boy, we catch our breath. It's a good time to talk about Sam's Meats. Football fans, stop by Sam's Meats, located in Wilmington at 1209 West Locust Street, to support a locally owned and operated business. Sam's Meats has fresh chicken, pork, and beef, along with deli cheese and lunch meats. Their meat deals are a great way to buy meat in bulk, helping to save you both time and money. The dining room is open for you to enjoy homemade hot bar meals, and their made-to-order grill menu. Sam's Meats also offers catering, party trays, and a variety of homemade desserts. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturdays. Go check them out, Sam's Meats. Colette Farms, Jeff, give us them.
Colette Farms Pioneer Seed is a family-owned and operated seed dealership offering Pioneer brand products, seed treatments, and trusted agronomic advice for over 45 years. With the use of local data, technology, and digital tools, we help farmers maximize every acre's potential. Count on us to be there throughout the season, working directly with you. Colette Farms Pioneer Seed, farmers just like you.
So it is a 4th down, and the scoreboard says 20. So it's 4th and 20 for Wilmington. As Hibbert drops back to pass, looking, and he fires it in the end zone, and that ball is intercepted in the end zone by Little Miami, excuse me. It is number 16, I think, on the pick, Jeff, Aiden Jones.
What a game he's having, too.
What a game. Even defensively, he makes a big interception in a big spot.
He came into tonight just shy of 1,500 yards passing on the year. He's got a bundle tonight, a couple interceptions. Nice player.
These kids are giving it their all. John Roberts Excavating is located in Wilmington as a family-owned business since 1998. They are specialized in experience in general excavation, sewer storm grading, field tile drainage, land clearing, ponds, and demolition and paving. There is a pass out. Oh, goodbye again. He's gone again.
Is that?
He is absolutely gone for a long touchdown. It's number 1 that time. Riley Pringle.
Beautiful.
What a play.
The option out of the spread, if it's executed correctly, daggone tough to start, and very nicely done by Little Miami.
And we don't see any flags down. What a great play, great effort by Riley Pringle, the senior running back, sprinting for a 80-yard touchdown run. My goodness, how many yards would he have rushing now?
Well,
it's got to be pushing 200 too.
Well, he's not had. I mean, he's clearly over 100.
Yeah, of course.
With that 80.
The point after is good by Lucas Swerk, and Little Miami extends their lead to 49-38. We remember Wilmington was ahead 14-0 and ready to go up 21 when there was a turnover.
And then another turnover and another turnover.
Yeah.
Changed the whole game.
The whole game is now 49-38. Little Miami with the lead, 6:25 to go. Fourth quarter here at Alumni Field. So now Wilmington gets their chance to try to answer the barrage that Little Miami has rained down on the Wilmington Hurricane. And it's just like blitzkrieg. It's long runs, long passes, long catch and runs. What an effort by these kids who have not given up, not had the greatest season all year long, but tonight they are really racing up and down this field.
Well, again, I have to point out they'd made the playoffs each of the last 2 or 3 years, I believe. Of course, it counts this year. But again, the conference changed. They were in the Southwest Ohio Conference. Now they're in Eastern Cincinnati Conference, and that must have been a step up for them.
It's 49 Little Miami, 38 Wilmington. It's 6:25 to go in the ball game. This is a big drive for Wilmington. I think they got a score, and there's a kick out of bounds, and we've talked about that many times in our 2020 coverage. It's a momentum killer. You've just scored a huge touchdown, and a kickoff out of bounds turns the momentum back to the other team.
Yeah, it's a tough one. High school's different than Cincinnati Bengals, but we've seen it out of the Bengals.
We've seen it too many times.
Yeah.
There's a difference when you're getting paid millions of dollars to kick and you're a high school kicker. It's absolutely uncalled for in the NFL.
Agree totally.
We've seen it too much out of the striped orange and black Houday crowd. I could sit there and list probably 10 kickers who I've seen do that for the Bengals, but we'll save that for next year. Hibbert back to pass is complete to Isaiah Wriggling, who crosses the 40-yard line. So a nice catch and run on first down.
That's that play we've seen, I think, probably 4 or 5 times now. Ringling just sets up in the soft spot of the zone.
Yeah, and Wilmington trying to speed up the pace now. No long extended huddles or looking over the line. Hibbert back to pass. He's had a great game, too, and he fires it downfield. I think the receivers and the quarterback were crossed up on that one as the ball falls harmlessly incomplete, nobody around it. So this is huge. 3rd and 5.
You definitely need it, and if you don't get it, you're going for it.
Well, yes, with 5:53 to go. It's 49 Little Miami, 38 Wilmington. Big third down here, Jeff. 3rd and 5. Let's see what the Wilmington coaching staff dials up on a big 3rd and 5.
I'd be looking at 81, Carter Huffman.
Look who's guarding him, too. It's Stocksdale on him. Hibbert downfield all alone. Oh, he was running all alone. Number 84, Jaden Tackett, was absolutely gone. Absolutely gone for an easy touchdown.
That's what you call a mix-up in coverage, and I saw 2 of the Little Miami kids looking at each other, puzzling, wondering what happened, and I don't know what happened, but somebody missed the call.
The ball just slightly overthrown. He was so wide open. Rick, I don't know if you hit a mic, but I lost my left headset here. Could there be something going on with all the fiddling going on? He was wide open down the field, but Hibbert's pass just a hair long. Sometimes it's, there you go, I got it back. What'd you do? Sometimes too wide open. Can you be too wide open sometimes, Jeff?
Well, we've talked about that a couple times before. When your receiver is that wide open, just throw the ball out there, kind of like throwing a pizza up in the air and let him run under it. Now, Peyton, I mean, the ball was beautifully thrown, but you don't want to take any chances when he's that wide open.
Just a hair long. Shelley McCune, Realtors. Caldwell Banker shines like no other. Only one real estate company has guided people home for over 114 years. We've got an election this week. That was Teddy Roosevelt's presidency. How about that? Call Shelley McCune with Caldwell Banker West Shell, your neighbor, your friend, your hometown realtor, bringing you exceptional service, honesty, and integrity throughout the entire home buying and selling process. Shelley McCune Realtors. Jeff, what about the painting and renovation arm of the McCune Empire?
McCune Painting and Renovation LLC is located here in Wilmington. They are your trusted contractor with over 25 years of experience, offering interior and exterior custom painting and home renovations. Call Nevin today at 937-728-5585 for a free quote.
Big 4th and 5 here for Wilmington. Hibbert takes the snap and the ball's batted back to him, and he runs, and he's not going to get there, Jeff. So a heads-up play. He caught his own batted pass. He knew he couldn't throw it again.
Tried to get the first,
Almost.
made a nice effort.
Nice effort.
Good defense by Little Miami that
and
time.
Really a smart heads-up play by Peyton Hibbert, the senior quarterback. Realized that once he caught his own batted pass that he couldn't throw it again. That's a smart play. That's something that not every kid can bring that to the field or the table, basically, knowing that you can't throw it again, and he knew it. So a heady play by Peyton Hibbert and a strong effort just short of the first down. Now Little Miami takes over and can maybe ice this game on this drive.
I think maybe just 1 or 2 first downs may do it. See if they stay with on the ground with Riley Pringle.
Well, there's a keeper by Aiden Jones. Second down and about still 10. No gain on that play. Clock running 5:27. There's an injury on the field. They're not stopping the clock. Where's the officials stop the clock? You got an injured player. It's the home clock, and they still let it run, Jeff.
Well,
so there's an injury down on the field.
I hope that doesn't. It looks like it's maybe a cramp.
Time to talk about Ettinger Farms. Let's take a breather and talk about Ettinger Farms.
Ettinger Farms is family-owned and operated, Tony, and it focuses on providing its customers with the highest quality hay and straw. The experts on the Ettinger Farms team can provide you with the perfect product for any operation and offer both delivery and unloading services. Ettinger Farms also sells both farm fresh beef and pork to fill your freezer. Find them on Facebook or visit their website at ettingerfarms.com.
If our roster is right, which I think it is, that was Elijah Rockhold with the injury who limps off the field.
Tony, looking at Little Miami's scores a little closer from this year, they lost a game to Anderson. They put up 40 points, lost 50-40. They scored 55 against Loveland, scored 26 against Milford in a loss, 48 and 14. So they've been up and down with their scoring this year, but they've looked really good on offense tonight.
Well, 49 tonight. And Little Miami lets the clock run down and then calls a timeout. Brown Funeral Home, Jeff. Tell us about Brown.
Brown Funeral Home in Wilmington is proud to support the student-athletes of Clinton and surrounding counties. The hard work, dedication, and passion shown by these athletes are the same principles we adhere to at our funeral home. The team of Kevin Brown and Billy Earhart are always here to assist your family in your time of need. From pre-planning to at need, we offer a wide range of services that are economically friendly to all. To contact us, please call 937-382-2247. That's 937-382-2247. You can also find us online at erahart-brown.com or on Facebook at Brown Funeral Home. Brown Funeral Home, celebrating lives, committed to the community.
2nd and 10 with 4:44 to go, coming out of the Little Miami timeout. Wilmington trailing by 11 points. This is the drive of the game that must be stopped with enough time to get down there and get another score. These kids have both given it their all on both sides. There is a, oh
Fumble.
no, and it's exactly what they did not want, and it is recovered by Wilmington. And you tell us that, Jeff. The one thing you do not want right there and right at that moment is a turnover.
We've talked about quarterbacks going under center at the goal line and how, at least I think, it's really risky to continue to run the shotgun when you're close to the goal line. Well, same thing applies when you're trying to kill the clock at the end of the game, but I don't know that I've seen Little Miami up under center once tonight. So that's their offense, and that's the risk you take.
So that was the one thing that Little Miami did not want to happen. Instead, they were hoping to run out the clock on that drive, but they turn it over. So Wilmington with new life, down 11 with 4:36 to go. Hold on to your seats, folks. Hibbard down the field, and that ball is tipped around and batted down incomplete. Nice effort down there by number 84, Jaden Tackett. Broken up by 32.
Yeah, I think Little Miami
Ashton
has made
Middlecamp, is that who that is?
I believe so. After Carter Huffman's success earlier in the game, I believe a change was made, and Little Miami staff has put Stocksdale following Huffman, regardless of whether he lines up on the right or the left side, which was a good move.
Yeah, funny you noticed that because I did too, and it seems like that's neutralized him some.
And in fact, Carter Huffman now is coming to our side of the field, and Stocksdale has come to this side. Really a good coaching adjustment.
So Hibbert takes the snap and fires deep downfield, and that ball is incomplete. No flag down, intended for Isaiah Wriggling. And again, number 32 on the coverage is Ashton Middlecamp for Little Miami. 4:25 to go. It's 49 Little Miami, 38. Wow. Tell us those stats, Jeff. We just got the word.
Well, we've got, if I add up right in my mind, about 1,000 yards of total offense tonight. Little Miami's just shy of 500, and Wilmington is over 500.
Wow. And we thank the Little Miami staff for that stat. There's a ball down the field. Is it caught? It is caught. What a tumbling catch by Isaiah Wriggling. Peyton Hibbert downfield. Isaiah Wriggling with a fantastic effort. Stops the clock for the first down conversion with 4:20 to go and add more yards, Jeff, to the Wilmington offense.
We're over 1,000 now for sure.
Yes. Hibbert in the shotgun fires downfield, Wriggling again. Did he catch it? No, incomplete.
That is a penalty.
And there's a flag down. We're going to have interference.
Why is she mad? That penalty's on Little Miami.
Well, we haven't heard it officially yet.
Maybe she was warning them.
Maybe
to call
she's
it.
right. Mrs. Killen, you got to love her. It is a penalty on Little Miami, the pass interference, so the drive continues for Wilmington. Hibbert takes the shotgun snap, and it goes through his hands, and he does fall on it. But again, Wilmington's been plagued by that almost all night, Jeff.
Well, it's almost an identical play to a few minutes ago, and that killed their last drive.
What's ironic about that is it seems like it's plagued them on 1st and goal worse than any time. They
Well,
get deep down inside their own shadows of their goalpost and they go backwards on snaps that go over Hibbard's head.
I believe it's really the first cold night that the Wilmington kids have had this year, and
That could be a
makes a
factor.
difference.
So it's 2nd and goal way back from the 26, and that ball skips incomplete, intended for Tanner Killen. What a shame to have that drive
Well, the question.
affected by a wild snap.
Agree. The question is if you get a few yards here but not close, do you go ahead and try to field goal to get within 8?
Well, let's see. Interesting call. We'll see on 4th down. Hibbert throws the pass and it is caught. And you are in that situation, Jeff. So a pass and catch by who else? Carter Huffman. And now it's Wilmington with the ball on the 16-yard line. And I'm thinking they are going.
I would field goal here.
And here they are. They are
Are they?
doing it. Yes, they
Good.
are.
I was a little omniscient on
You
that
like,
one.
yeah, you called it again, Mr. Romo, but do you like the call?
Yes, take the 3.
Yeah, but what do you mean take the 3? It's not Justin Tucker out there kicking.
Well, I think you have a better chance. Keep it get it a one-score game with
Well, let's
Parker
see.
Henry.
Parker
No,
Henry's kick
you're
is
right.
not going to be good.
I think it was the right call.
I don't know. I think it's putting too much pressure on the kid from that distance. You're talking about a 35-yard field goal. But we're not paid to coach.
I think it was the right call. I don't think Parker has just hit one over 30, 35 yards this year, and maybe he just
You're asking a lot for a high school kid to blast a field goal from that distance in that circumstance, but
agree.
it's wide left. Kingdom Exteriors, Jeff, tell us about them.
Tony, it's that time of year, and the projects you've been putting off at home still need to be finished. Is a new roof one of those projects? One simple call could get that out of the way. Kingdom Exteriors specializes in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and decks. Call Kelly at Kingdom Exteriors at 513-696-9593.
Here's what's interesting. Little Miami's not sitting on the ball. They were going to fire a pass downfield, but it wasn't there, so Aiden Jones smartly keeps it.
Well, after you botch running out the clock by running, go back with what you have been doing so well. I'd like to see the ball to Stocksdale one more time tonight, to be honest with you, Tony.
Well, he's how far from the end zone? 80?
It's about his zone.
You know, you add 80, he'd be over 300 if he could get that.
I mean, he's get 300. That's got to be a school record that probably won't be touched in a couple millenniums.
What a game tonight. Little Miami trailing early. Then we got in a tit-for-tat type of game where each team was scoring back and forth. Now Little Miami's holding on to an 11-point lead, 49-38. Wilmington trailing here at home in Week 10 of the high school football season. CampusNation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation. 2:36 left at Alumni Field. 2nd and 9. I can't believe they'll go to the air here. There's a whistle and a stoppage in play. I think they're trying to get the band to quiet down. And that's what it is. They told the band quit talking.
Actually, I think that's the right call there, Tony.
Yeah, they stopped the band from playing.
I
There's
think,
a handoff to number 1, Riley Pringle, who's stacked up, and another Wilmington timeout. Now, what we had there, Jeff, explain what we had. We had the band playing during the timeout, and then what? Tell us.
You're not allowed to play on into the as a play develops. You have to shut it up as the play goes forward.
And the officials stopped the clock or stopped play and ordered the Wilmington band to stop playing. And we heard some of the fans of the Wilmington team
Unhappy with that
objecting
decision.
to that. Let's use a more polite word. How about they didn't take too kindly to it? But everybody agrees. I think it's the right call, right?
Well, it is correct. No
Yeah, that's
question
what.
about it.
And the officials, we've been up and down with them all night long, but I think on that play, that was the correct thing to do, is to stop the play.
And they're finishing strong. It's been a good last
Yeah,
quarter and a half.
they have. They quit throwing flags, and the game got interesting from then on. Big 3rd and 12 for Little Miami. There's Jones rolling out to pass and fires
Here we
downfield, and
go.
oh my goodness, he's gone again. He is absolutely gone again. Nobody is going to catch that kid. Reese Stocksdale. Again, Jeff, you can just see it unfolding on the TV screen, run by Rick Phillips. The ball opened up in the middle. Once Reese caught it, it was like wave goodbye, Seabiscuit saying see you later.
I can't say anything. I mean, it's a set play. What they did was they had Reese on the backside of the formation. They roll the quarterback to the right, and then he throws back to Reese coming across the middle to try to get one-on-one coverage or have him ignored on the backside. And once he gets the ball,
It's goodbye. Once it's in his hand in the open field, you could just see it from up here and on the TV screen. I'm sure you'll see it in the television audience as the point after by Lucas Swerk is good. I'm sure you can see it on the replay and on the later on tonight. When the kid gets the ball in the open field, it's like you can see the Red Sea opening up like the Ten Commandments movie, and Charlton Heston and the group goes through, and that's Reese Stocksdale. Now let's hear how many. How many?
5 receptions, 323 yards.
My goodness gracious.
seems like he's got 50 receptions,
Jeff,
but only 5
read-
for 323 yards.
Right. I cannot.
Good
you
Lord.
think back at his game tonight.
60
He
plus
seems
yards,
like
5 touchdowns.
He seems like he's had more catches than 5, but to have 5 receptions for 323 yards, and my goodness, he had the one for 80 yards called back.
64 plus yards a catch tonight.
He would have had over 400 if it wasn't for the ball called back,
That's right. I forgot about that.
plus 2 others. He's got 5 TD receptions. He would have had 7.
You know, I think back to Ohio State having Mike Lanise. Don't you think this kid is better than Mike Lanise was?
Well, it's hard to say because you're watching it in Wilmington Alumni Field, but boy, he is a player. It's just so hard to say. All we know is the kid can run.
Run with the wind.
He has got wheels as Brett Brooks rumbles to the 35-yard line. Talk about speed, breakaway speed. It's amazing to watch because, like we've said over and over, from our vantage point here at midfield in the press box, you can see these plays opening up, and you can just see the field just spreading for him, and he's like got a gear that he just downshifts and says, "See you later," and that's what he's done all night long.
Tony, he is just tonight he's now in 7th place in the all-time OHSAA records for most yards receiving in a game with 323. The leader is Barry Quinn for Urbana, who had 381 yards receiving in a game in 2002 against Springfield Shawnee. So I got to tell you, if they get the ball back, I'd like to see him get one
Well,
more
I don't
pass.
know that that's going to happen, but
It's fun to think about.
there's a pass incomplete as Hibbert is flushed out of the pocket. But what I'm suggesting is he's had 2 called back, and the one that was called back was an 80-something. So you add that to the stats that counted, he would have been over 400, and he would have had a state record tonight.
You're right. That's correct.
That's you called 1 penalty back on him. We actually had 2 called back, but 1 long one called back that would have been over 400.
Well, it's been 5 years since somebody's gotten up in that range. Jason Blizzard from Menor had 342 yards in 2015. So This is really an historic performance.
But tell me that last one again, Jeff. Tell the audience.
Most of the kids that are ahead of him in receiving for games of receiving yards per game have been. It's been a while, and since they've done it, this is the most yards receiving in a game in Ohio since 2015. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yes. What a ball game. You love to see talented kids out on the field giving it their all. Both teams have played their heart out. But what a game tonight by Reese Stocksdale as Hibbert's pass is incomplete, intended for Carter Huffman. Broken up down there by number 22 on the coverage. That's Martin Sevier.
They're giving Reese a break now on defense, so he's usually the one been following Carter Huffman around this half.
Well, when he's been sprinting up and down the field constantly.
I think he needs a little water break.
What do we got here?
Fans are getting nasty
Do
here.
we have another penalty?
Well,
The officials huddling up, having another one of those conferences. That we haven't seen a conference since early in the. Seemed like it was late in the second quarter,
No,
early
I think
third.
there was a couple in the third. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
On who?
Well,
Point to a side.
He pointed
Pointing
to the
to the
stands.
ground. Well, they call it on Wilmington. Is it on the fans?
It must be on the sidelines. Somebody must have
Sidelines.
said something because he pointed at the sidelines.
Looked like he pointed straight down, but I guess that's a point to the sidelines.
Kinda.
It's close. So now it's 4th and forever. So Wilmington down to their last ditch effort, and it's more yards rushing for Stuckey, who, believe it or not, Jeff, has converted the first down. But wait, is there a turnover on the other side?
I have no idea what's happening. I see the little Miami kids jumping up and down.
Not sure what the cheering was for.
I feel like I'm like in another
Right, that was
dimension
odd
tonight.
because here's what was strange about that, folks. Little Miami kids were cheering, and what it was a 40-something yard run for a first down. There's Huffman being tangled up, and there's got to be a flag on that, but no. And now we hear Mrs. Killen that time, and I think that time she definitely has a legitimate complaint. That ball, yeah, she's screaming for the flags. The fans are screaming for the flags.
Tony, we got an explanation from the Little Miami coaching staff why they were so excited over there.
Tell us.
The touchdown saving tackle, and you called it, I didn't catch the young man's name, rarely, if ever, plays. And here he's in a game and he catches a high-class running back like that, keeps him from scoring a touchdown.
Wow, how about
So
that?
that's
What a
good
great
story.
special human interest story. Love it. Thank you again to the Little Miami staff for passing that nugget along. There's a pass incomplete. On the coverage again is Martin Sevier covering Carter Huffman. Yeah, and give it up then for Little Miami because they cheered their teammate for that game or touchdown saving tackle. And again, add some more yards to Thad Stuckey. Again, we don't have it official. He's got to be
250
at least. I think it's more than that. What a game. He's had a tremendous game. Peyton Hibbert's had a great game. Aiden Jones has had a great game. There's a pass incomplete intended for Huffman. Another kid with a great game. Isaiah Wriggling of Wilmington has had a great game. Riley Pringle, Little Miami, great game. The Williams brothers, Trey and Ty, have both had solid games. The two kickers, Parker Henry for Wilmington and Lucas Swerk of Little Miami have both kicked well. There's not much you can say about tonight other than pass along accolades.
And of course, you lose it in the offense, but don't forget Sean Busher for Little Miami's been all over the field out there making hits right and left.
Hibbert's pass falls incomplete on 4th down, and I think that's going to be it. Now, here's what's interesting, Jeff. You've coached, and maybe, I don't know, the Little Miami people up here know it. Do you try for a record?
I don't think so in this setting.
Yeah,
no.
you don't.
I mean, I would love to see the kid catch another ball and race in again.
He's out
but
there.
It would be,
He's out there
well, it'd be getting close to the state record.
with 1:31 to go. Let's see. Could he get it if they went 58? It's 53 away.
Well, the record is 381.
So he's short of that, right?
Well, he'd go into second spot. I just don't. I
don't think they're going to do
take
it.
a knee.
Yeah, they're going to take a knee, but do you do it is a question. Do you
No.
try to get the kid the record?
I think if he's a little closer, maybe 10, 15 yards,
Yeah.
you'd send him on an out pattern, and then after the game, you'd explain it to the coach if he didn't, to Coach Killen if he didn't understand it. But I think this is the right action.
So
under these
Caleb
circumstances.
Jones and the coaching staff of Little Miami does take knees as the clock is going to run out here at Alumni Field. We're at 1:10 and counting. It is Little Miami 56, Wilmington 38. What a game we've had. As the clock ticks down, and Little Miami's bleeding every second off the play clock, and they kneel, and we're 39 seconds and counting, and we might have one more snap. So Little Miami with a huge effort, big comeback win to close out the season, going on the road, and there won't be any more snaps as the clock is going to tick out, 19 and counting. It's Little Miami 56, Wilmington 38. What a ball game we've had. What team effort, what individual effort as the Wilmington kids run off the field for the last time into their home locker. The Little Miami kids meeting at midfield. What a game, Jeff. Tell us, what do you think?
I think I have to go back to you're up 14-0. Wilmington is early. You're going in for another touchdown to make it 21-0. If that happens, the entire complexion of the game changes. You make the turnover. You have, was it Reese with the 85-yard? Yes, 85-yard touchdown pass, and the whole game changes. Turnovers matter, but it was certainly enjoyable. Very good effort by both schools.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what we've got, what we've had, and what we got coming up. Tonight at Alumni Field, it was Little Miami Panthers 56, Wilmington 38 in a whale of a football game to close down the 2020 regular season. Tomorrow night on campusnation.com is Waverly at Clinton Massey in the regional semifinals. A matchup tomorrow night of two undefeated teams. 6:45 will be the coverage begins on campusnation.com. It'll be on the YouTube channel of Campus Nation. Also, this game tonight will be available on demand whenever you want it. All you have to do is log on to campusnation.com or the YouTube channel of Campus Nation. It'll be right there for your enjoyment. And I recommend you go back and watch this because we had some great team and individual performances. These sponsors who have been with us all year long: Sam's Meats, Colette Farms, John Roberts Excavating with their 1998 trivia. Shelley McCune Realtors, 114 years in business, Caldwell Banker. McCune Painting and Renovation, LLC. Ettinger Farms, Brown Funeral Home, and Kingdom Exteriors. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you. Jeff, we've come to week 10 of a fantastic 2020 season. What's some of your parting thoughts? What do you think? What did you think? Take it away.
Well, we've covered Wilmington more than any other team this year, and the thing that I think tonight, the takeaway is that's going to be a good football team next year. Coach Killen obviously has done a really good job with the program. He's got some young people. I think he's going to need to tighten up the defense, figure out a way to try to keep some of these teams that have scored pretty good amount of points on them down. But there's no reason to think that they can't come out and maybe I hope we have a normal year next year and this COVID is gone. If everything would go normal, I mean, I don't see any reason why they can't go at least 8-2 and take it from there. As far as the other schools we've covered, I've enjoyed it. I've learned a lot about the Southern Buckeye Athletic Academic Conference and some of the beautiful facilities and the schools. You remember down at New Richmond how nice that was. And again, I'm just going to talk about Stocksdale. Again, then my takeaway is we've just witnessed a young man who now is in 7th place, if my math's right, on the all-time game yards receiving. And that was just an unbelievable performance.
Well, we've had a great time doing these weekly high school football games. From what I understand, this might be our last broadcast because the only team left to cover in the Campus Nation football is Clinton Massey as they try for a state title. CampusNation.com will be right there. The other side of the network, the other channel of our network will be covering them. What a tremendous year we've had, as you said, Jeff. You know, it's no secret you and I have known each other for 35 plus years, and when this opportunity opened up, it was a great thing to invite you to give your expertise. I know how brilliant of a football mind you are, and you've added a tremendous amount to this broadcast by giving your analysis and your predictions and your vast knowledge of football and particularly high school football. Joe Holdren, Country Joe, what a fun guy he's been, wearing his cowboy hat, his autographed cowboy hat, been on the sidelines doing the end zone camera half the year and the upstairs midfield camera the rest of the year. Rick and Sydney Phillips, who run this production, what a tremendous job they do running Campus Nation, running WZAA 106.9, putting this thing on the air for you guys out there in the audience to enjoy as many times as you want. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you guys on this 2020 football season. Can't wait to do basketball, and if you'll have us back, we'll do other sports too, especially the baseball, which we were looking forward to doing this summer, that the COVID was struck that down too. You had the contract for some of those games, and unfortunately, like many things, it was affected by COVID. But remember, we're here, Rick and Sydney, if you need us on the Sports Planet show, on any show that you run. And high school sports is a tremendous thing in the state of Ohio. I'm glad we got a chance to watch it all year long. It was a pleasure doing these broadcasts. It was our privilege bringing it to you. So we're going to sign off, I think, for the last time in 2020. Again, CampusNation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation. For Jeff Merklin, Joe Holdren, Rick and Sydney Phillips, I'm Tony Mancuso, and we want to thank the audience and thank everybody for listening and watching High School Football 2020. It don't get no better than that in the state of Ohio. And thank you to all the listeners, and we'll catch you next year and down the road with some other sports. Good night, everyone.